Jay has a meeting tonight with Sonny Black at the Penny Diners Club. And I'm assuming this junior member of the coterie is tagging along.
Apparently he couldn't dodge fast enough.
Sydney is going to be there for a completely different reason.
Food.
You have a meeting with the owner of the Penny Diners establishment. He found something on his property.
Okay.
He has contacted your sire and asked for help identifying it. And she's going to send you there in her stead. So that is the reason you are there.
Gotcha.
All right? So
they're doing grunt work.
Huh? You're there doing grunt work, yeah. Well, your sire's also doing a lot of laying low.
Yeah.
Because Gore is psychotic. And proving that Gore is trying to kill your sire is going to be one thing. Making the new prince of the city care that a Tremere is trying to kill another Tremere is going to be another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, whoever was the more ruthless Tremere is the one who actually is going to get the job. And Gore is psychotic.
Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah, he's noted for participating in beating the crap out of some Thin Blood a few months back, too. Him and Rhino broke this poor guy's leg. Poor old guy. So, Penny Diners Club is a lot different than the last one that you knew. We are no longer in the Pearl District. The new Penny Diners Club, the new location, is in Old Town. Not too far away from Chinatown, but in the nicer areas. Where Chinatown is kind of falling apart. This is where you have your more high-class 5-star restaurants and ridiculously tall hotels and things like that. Yeah, that's where you guys are going to be. That's where.
It requires one additional success to get meth here compared to China. It's
harder to get meth here, unless you know who to talk to. You probably want to check the museum. So yeah, that's where we're going to open up. There's going to be some fancy instrumental music playing. So yes, some nice classical. The interior is a lot different from the last one too. You don't see the black and white checkered floors and the big red curtains like you did at the other place. It doesn't look like some kind of high-class sock hop from like a 50s movie or anything like that anymore. There's fine maroon carpeting that covers almost the whole area, except for the dining areas. Like directly around the carpets is cut out. There's like this very nice tile placed. The curtains around each table they're still an option. And the whole the area where people the waiting area, the seating area where people would choose who they're going to dine with is now this massive lounge area and a bar. This place has definitely gone upscale compared to the last location. So, who's gonna arrive first? Why don't we get why don't we roll some number dice? Since Glenn says he never uses them.
2.
2? 1.
10, apparently.
10. Okay.
A waste of crit on this.
Are you two going in together?
I'd rather go in a separate car.
Okay. So you know he's going there, but he's going to arrive.
Adventure just doesn't want to be in the car with the mole man.
I mean, I can understand.
Have you seen that van?
Are you walking in dressed?
The mole van can't actually leave currently.
Yeah. You need to, like, replace the shocks or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So, are you walking in dressed like one of the Wrench brothers from Super Mario?
Yes.
Okay. When you walk in, it's nice physically. There are a good amount of people who are lounging around in the waiting area. A young girl, probably maybe in her mid-20s, dressed very well, is going to approach you. Sir? We do have a dress code.
I'm here to fix a thing. Ask Sunny.
Ask Sunny?
Yeah.
One moment, please. And she's gonna toddle off.
I do have a wrench.
I'm sure you do. Usually 7 sharpened ones for throwing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a melee wrench.
And a melee wrench. Yes.
That's one big wrench.
After a moment or two, that young Toreador that I think you may have seen once or twice by the name of John is gonna walk up. Hey, Jay, right? What's going on? You're looking for who?
Sunny Black.
Oh, yeah. He said that he was trying to meet somebody like on common ground or something like that. Yeah, come. Yeah, follow me. And he'll take you up.
Stick me in a back room so I can quit embarrassing him in front of the clients.
As he's walking you towards the destination, he has chosen to put you out of sight. He is animatedly talking about various physical components of the restaurant. Primarily about like piping, air ducts, and things like that. He is definitely trying to set you up as some type of maintenance person.
Maintenance man.
That's
Yeah.
what I was doing, so this is working for me.
Yeah. He is, however, going to take you to an area. It's a very interesting little area where there's a curved staircase that kind of like goes into the wall, like it's built around it. The carpet from the floor actually seems to go up on the wall, like on the outside of the staircase. So kind of like you don't even notice it at first. It's like the staircase itself is hiding. But at the front of the stairs is this tiny little velvet rope that has a little plackets that hangs from little golden rings that says VIP area.
Curved staircase.
Yeah. What's wrong with you in curved staircases, may I ask?
Out
of character. Out of character.
Well, somebody drugged me, up the famous stair at one point.
Huh.
It was traumatic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll just unhook the little velvet rope and walk you up there. And when you get up there, there's like a little landing that kind of looks down onto the lobby area of the actual restaurant. It actually goes pretty high up. You can tell that this building should be a 3-story building, but it's just a 2-story building. The complete center area is just massive vaulted ceilings. There's a guy up there who... actually, this is John. There's a woman up there who is well-dressed. She fits the decor of the area, but the colors that she wears... She's made to blend in. Although she does have a pretty face, she does look like she has a nose that has been corrected several times. It's kind of a flattened kind of thing. She looks like she's seen herself in a fight once or twice. She wears some very large rings as well. And she'll stand up, put down her magazine, look to see who's coming up the stairs. When she sees that it's John and you, she'll stand to the side, and she'll open the door for you to let you in. The room, the door that you're walking into has this faint lighted sign. It's almost like a neon cursive worked into the door, but it's very it's a very deep purple lighting. You only catch it really when they open it and it catches the light properly. And it says Elysian Fields.
Acting like a maintenance man is very seldomly resulted in such great results.
Right? And you are ushered
Where do
in.
we hide this schmuck in the VIP lounge.
Yeah, you're ushered in, and there are maybe about half a dozen individuals here, men, women. Do you have any kind of auspex?
Yeah.
What do you have?
Sense unseen.
Sense the unseen? Any kind of animalism?
Hold on, what does he have? Oh, and that whispers on the wind bit.
No animalism?
Not on the sheet, no.
Okay. The whispers on the wind. Can you go ahead and do a wits and awareness roll for me?
Tony, check.
Once you walk through the door, there's a cascade of murmuring voices, whispers, and you're just out of all of the cacophony of whispering voices you're going to hear that you're going to hear they're all like you.
It's really a surprise.
This is a fairly nice place. There's a bar, booths, a few open tables, like small, high tables with chairs that no one really seems to be using those. There just seem to be cloistered off in the little booths. The music is still playing here, but it's live. You can tell that the music that's coming from downstairs is actually
Piped from upstairs.
And there's just a small classical band off to one corner that's just doing their thing as quietly as possible, but noticeable.
Pianissimo.
Mr. Giovanni will be here soon. If you need anything at all, the bar is fully capable of handling our needs. And he will head back downstairs.
That might be useful.
Yeah, it probably would be. Why don't we go ahead and do a hunger checks for the night, since we didn't do that yet.
I already saw that head on that one. Did Blush Life and Hunger Check. 1 failure, 1 success.
Okay.
1 failure.
One failure? Okay. So you're going to start at 2 instead of 1. Are you going to do any kind of prepping for the evening?
Just the blush of health.
Blush of life?
Blush of life.
Okay.
I think that one still requires a hunger roll for that.
Why are you rolling 2?
Sorry.
You succeeded with both, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so you're just at a 2. You got to remember to have David do that when he gets back. You're going to be sitting there for a few minutes before anything happens.
This way, I'm heading into the Penny Diners for work. So
Yeah.
I'm going to try and find a seat where I have a minimum of live space behind me.
Okay. There are booths that are still open. Like I said, there's only about half a dozen kindred in here. So you could very well take a booth. No one could get behind you then. They are built into the walls.
True. But are any of the stools more like in the corner?
No, they're like there's like a parquet wood floor that's like out of the bar area that looks like it could be a dance floor, but like instead of being a dance floor, there's actually like bars built into them where people can like sit at higher chairs and.
Okay, so one of the booths probably then.
Yeah.
We came up the stairs. Are there any other doors into or out of this room?
There is
no windows.
the bar itself is like in the center of the room, because this entire floor seems to be made up of this like private area. Off to the far side, you'll see a couple of other doors.
Okay.
They are marked as employee only.
Far side in terms of
Like from where you entered,
yeah,
off to the far side.
On the opposite from the entryway.
Yes, but like off towards the right.
Okay. Are there booths along that wall?
No, there are no booths along that wall. That seems to be more of like a work area.
Okay. So that would mean the stool closest to the employee's exit. Then,
Okay, that's where you're gonna.
with my back to the employee exit.
Understood. Can I get you to do a hunger check?
I'm fine.
You're fine. Are you doing any kind of blush of life or anything like that?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm still fine.
Cool. Sydney will be entering the Penny Diners Club next.
Alright. Well, I cannot remember the guy's name. It's been 2 months, and I completely forget the guy's...
The owner?
The owner's
John.
name. John. I'm just gonna wait out front till...
Outside or?
Inside.
Okay. Yeah, you haven't really had a chance to... No, I actually do think you did eat here, I think,
Yes.
like on your first or second night playing Sydney.
Yeah.
Alright, so, you know this place. It's
Yeah.
what it is. It's surprisingly empty. What are your Auspex abilities?
Sense Unseen and Premonition.
Okay. When you enter, you see the guy that you're supposed to be meeting with. You see him just as he's walking up these stairs with some guy dressed in a electrician's outfit or something. You really can't place the
Even
type of...
vampires need maintenance guy?
Yeah, it seems like that. What are you wearing?
You
Are
see
you
the average.
trench, white coat, tie?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, young girl, maybe in her like low to mid 20s, is gonna walk up to you. What's your character's last name?
McMillan.
McMillan. Okay. She probably was the same person who met up with you last time you came in. She does seem to be doing the majority of the hostessing now. And as she approaches, Mr. McMillan, how have you been?
Not bad. How about yourself?
We're having a slow night.
I noticed. That's unusual for you guys.
A little bit. Things have calmed down just a little bit. But yeah, we're doing good still.
At least, at the very least, I do hope business picks up. I mean...
Oh, I'm sure it will. Are you here for your regular?
No, I'm actually here to meet up with John.
Oh, he
Okay,
just
so-
actually headed up. He just head upstairs with
Okay, well,
with someone.
if you don't mind, I can have a seat and just wait for him.
Sure. She'll show you over to the bar.
Okay.
You can let Stacy know if you want anything. Be discreet and specific at the same time, and she should be able to handle you.
Discreet and...
And specific.
Okay.
it won't take long for John to come back down the stairs. He goes, Mr. McMillan, right?
Yes.
Thanks for coming. We found something, and we weren't really sure what to. Not really sure what it. Excuse me.
Would you like to talk about this in private before?
Sure. Yeah. If you, I guess, follow me. And he's gonna take you up the same stairs to that area as well. After a couple of minutes, Jay will notice the door opens back up, and John walks back in with a blonde man in a trench coat, white shirt, kind of a little scruffy, but like just coating that dress code.
Have I seen you before?
I don't think
Nope.
so. I don't think so. So we'll get you two set off at a table to discuss this. It's probably better anyway. He's got what he wants to show you at the bar. How about Thomas?
He actually drove himself
Seems
tonight.
familiar. Is that
Okay.
that
He
Yes,
parks.
that is Constantine. And I partially used it.
He
because
parks
I
his
found this.
vehicle in wherever parking spot
Hey.
available.
Okay.
That looks good.
He walks in wearing this.
Okay. You are definitely the one fitting the dress code the most. Okay.
Hey, I'm not that bad.
I said you were skirting the dress code. When you come in and you see the young girl at the front,
Oh, just checking. You still have all the avatar photos I had for Sydney, right?
I do.
Okay.
How can we help you?
Yes, I'm here to talk to the owner.
John seems to be very popular tonight. Is this regarding something?
Business meeting.
So he knows you're coming.
Technically not, but I'm expected.
He doesn't know you're coming, but you're expected. One moment, please. And she's gonna walk away.
Confusing.
So as you guys get up to like the bar area, Sydney and John, he pulls out a bar stool. He offers you one as well. And do you need a drink or anything?
Sure.
Preference?
Something. Sanguine.
Sanguine?
Yeah.
That's yeah. She is able to bring it up very quickly without much of an issue, and so puts the glasses down on the bar, and John kind of like stands up in the bar stool, reaches behind and under the counter, and pulls out a small glass cobalt blue vial. Mm-hmm. This is what we need help identifying. You'll just hand it over to you.
Taking in. It's just a blue vial.
It's a blue vial with a liquid inside of it. It's dark. You can't really see, like, the colors of the glasses is pretty dark.
And yeah, what's in it?
Well, we know there's blood in it, but we're not really sure what else. It doesn't seem like just regular blood. Your whispers are going to call your attention to what's going on at the bar. And all you're really going to be able to make out of it is, ooh. Ooh.
I'm trying to remember these. I'm trying to remember my blood sorcery abilities.
Yeah, go for it. What do you need?
Core book, I think, for both of these. Was it Okay, I remember what corrosive vitae does.
Yeah, you melt through shit.
Yeah. Scour secrets.
Scour secrets lets your blood read things for you quickly.
Okay.
Once
Oh,
you're
right.
done, do a search check.
Yeah, it also stains whatever it runs over.
Not a taste
So,
of blood.
I don't have a taste for blood. The only other thing I've got on there is Scorpion's Touch. I don't think that's going to help.
Careful
either.
with the stuffs.
Yeah.
The door to the room is going to open up again, and that girl is going to walk inside. Start heading over towards the bar.
Is the blood is it kindred or?
I don't know. It smells really weird, and I'm not really sure what to make of it.
Do you mind if I?
Go ahead. He's going to start talking to the girl while you're doing that.
I'm gonna open it up. Okay.
You can smell it where you are. A lot of the kindred in the room kind of just shift in their seats and look over. Some of them with this longing look. It smells like cherries. Like really strong, sickly, sweet cherries. John is going to look back to you. I'm very sorry. Apparently there's somebody else asking for me. Busy night. For such a slow night.
I understand. I'm a businessman myself. So.
But if you want to, whatever you can about that, I will be right back. And I will try to figure this out.
So what I'm going to do
He's going to walk away.
is I'm probably going to end up regretting this, but curiosity's gotten the best of my character. Is he's going to take his finger, put it at the end of the vial, just kind of do like this, get just like a little thin layer of that blood, and just kind of taste it.
Okay.
Any weird premonitions or?
It is. What exactly are you doing with it?
I'm just trying to taste it and see if.
Okay, so you are putting it in your mouth. Okay. First off, when it touches your fingers, it's still warm, and it's also incredibly gelatinous and sticky. And when you get it on your finger, there's like a glob.
It's like jelly.
Almost. It's still liquid, but it's very viscous liquid. It's not even as runny as regular
It's like
blood.
a coagulated blood almost.
Not really. It's
Like gelatin?
jellified, really. It's not really coagulated. It's not scabby or getting chunky or anything. It's just goopy.
Strawberry reserves.
Well, I believe this one would be cherry.
Fair.
That's interesting.
Do you
Yeah.
taste it? It tastes like blood. Tastes really fucking good like blood.
Is this something I need a self-control roll to?
Give me a second.
He's working his way up. It's gonna happen.
It tastes really. It does taste very good. It's thick on your tongue, and you instantly want more the moment it touches you. I'm not going to roll you any kind of self-control to try to chug it, but the desire is there. The sound of the music becomes sharper. The colors in the room become more vibrant. You actually almost feel your heart beat for a split second. And it tastes like overly sweetened, like that chemical draw of fake cherry. But you get blood. And you can feel your veins calling for more.
Which is why I only little dab on the finger.
Yeah.
Because I figure if this thing's going to be bad, I might as well.
Yeah. The smell makes its way over to you pretty quickly too. It's
Oh, yeah,
Jay can definitely smell the
in character.
I'm going
thick
to
cherry.
close the vial because I know this is going to be too much of a temptation.
That smell lingers in the air for quite a bit. You do realize that you have an audience and they're not trying to hide it.
Oh, yeah.
Downstairs, John is the same kindred that you met at Sonny's place the first night that you met the rest of the coterie. Mm-hmm. This is that Toreador you thought was going to end up being part of the coterie. Mm-hmm. But, Thomas.
John.
Hi.
Did
we have an appointment?
Mainly here to meet with Sonny Black if he's arrived by any chance.
You're meeting with Sonny too? Everybody's going upstairs tonight. Come on, follow me.
Anyway, how's time been treating you these days?
I mean, it's a slow night, but we're doing pretty good. Other than that, we're I don't know. There just seems to be some. I don't know. Cam's acting weird. Just put it that way, but you know.
Isn't that the Cam's thing?
You say that like you're not. Thinking about jumping the fence?
Thinking of what?
Wow. Don't hear many blue bloods talking like that. It's going to take you up the stairs to the Elysian fields, past his female bouncer. And you've got two people up here that you know. You actually see a few people up here that you saw in the Elysium the night that you took your oaths that you were highly considering breaking right now. And and off to the side, off to the back, you see Jay, and sitting at the bar in the center of the room, you see Sydney.
Is he like distracted or?
This is probably about the time.
The vial,
you probably get up there just as he's putting the cork back in to the vial. It's just a little rubber cork that goes in the thing, and it has a little. It has a cork that goes in with like a little screw top that like wraps around the cork, and there's this scent of blood and cherries in the air when you walk in.
A good smell for a good time.
Yeah.
Well, look who's here. Who's finally showed up?
I've been busy.
I figured. Well, since you're finally back and it's been a while, whatever you're drinking tonight is on me.
Good to know.
John's gonna lean over. Rebecca, start a tab.
Starting with that.
When the venture's paying for it, you take advantage.
Starting with that, please. Something. How do you say that? What? Phlegmatic or
Phlegmatic.
And three fingers of gin as well, please.
Your gin?
Yeah.
Yeah, thought so. She's going to reach behind. The bar is interesting. It's this big circular area that does have an area where you can leave, and it has this glass shelf concoction behind it that the bar completely wraps around. She'll get your gin first, and then she will walk to the back and through a door, and she'll be gone for a couple minutes before she can come back with your phlegmatic.
Jay, sending a message to my sire. I'm at the restaurant. John has found an unusual vintage that I believe you should try. Nothing in there that's...
Yeah, she'll get back to you when she can.
Yeah.
So apparently this is a night to see acquaintances everywhere.
Yeah, you seem to know whoever this is.
I always forget his name too.
Sydney.
Sydney. J. Sydney.
Hi, how you doing?
I hate my life.
Your whispers when he goes, Jay, Sydney, Jay, you just hear, witch.
Yes.
That was outside. Sorry.
So, what were you up to over in your trip? What were you doing? You got me all curious now.
Sire wanted me to learn some things on the road with her.
Really? You did
Yeah.
nothing fun? You only studied?
Pretty much.
Stop being a bookworm. Have some fun.
Well, that's kind of what we do. I mean, most of us are.
That's your fun, being a bookworm?
I enjoy books.
Who doesn't? But still, everything has a limit.
That is true. But, seeing as how I'm still under my sire's tutelage,
Mm-hmm.
even you, I'm sure, has to go to your sire's call when required. Besides, she's paying most of my bills at the store right now, so you don't piss off the person that's paying your well for everything.
Amen to that. Did you learn any new tricks or?
A few,
Ooh,
yeah.
pretty ones or don't piss me off ones?
Definitely more of the second variety.
My man. So what brings you here today?
John did. Well, technically my sire made me come out here, but still, it's John needed something checked.
So work and not pleasure.
Hey, I still get fed out of it, so. It definitely was worth the trip, though, I think.
So your sire name is Sunny?
Hmm?
Or is it seems likely.
Oh yeah, my sire does know Sunny. In fact, it was actually at Sunny's place I was formally introduced to Kindred Society for the first time. At least kind of on a more minor scale. She didn't want me walking into an Elysium without at least knowing the basics and having a small group of people to know before walking in.
At one of the bars, or at one of the booths across from you, while they're having their little conversation, there's a woman sitting with a man that is giving off some pretty vaguely familiar vibes, but like you really can't place him. Mm-hmm. But that's the woman. And she looks at you, catches your eye, and goes like that. Just beckons you over with her finger.
It's my drink arrived yet, or?
Yeah, she'll bring your drink over.
Alrighty. I'll just grab my glasses, if you excuse me.
See, I may be reading between the lines a little too hard, but it seems to me that that's not a coincidence. So what's in the vial is either something I'm supposed to be working on for Sunny, or it's what Sunny's supposed to give me. So what is it?
It's blood.
From what kind of creature?
Can I at least tell whether or not it was kindred or...
the cherry taste just really blinds it. It's really hard to make out anything other than like the overly sweet, sickening cherry. Like it's mixed with the blood. Mixed with the blood, it's a little enjoyable. You also know blood doesn't last that long outside the body.
It's odd. You ever have like those cherries that they like douse in flavoring to throw in ice cream or something? Kind of tastes like somebody flavored it with that.
That's not a bad analogy.
Which makes me think that it's not kindred.
Whatever it is, the
makes me
mix
think.
of flavors seem to have kind of overwhelmed it, whatever the original taste was. I didn't want to try too much of it because I was afraid of what it might be.
Give me 1 second.
That's possibly wise.
Put that on hold for a second. I want to make sure I get this little interaction. You walk up to her, and that's her and the guy has this like stern face, but he also looks to be enjoying himself. He's dressed in a slightly out of date tuxedo, not like laughable out of date, but like he also looks like the kind of guy that if he wanted to, he could just beat the shit out of you for no reason. He looks like he's got hands like canned ham. Like it's massive guy. Especially compared to this smaller woman. You know Adrian, right? You're in his coterie?
Yes, I am.
Cool. When you see him next, can you tell him that his sire's looking for him?
I can definitely do. And would you like me to give him your name as well?
Just tell him that Catherine's looking for him.
Alrighty.
Thank you. That was
Yeah,
the
I was
whole
like,
interaction that I needed from you.
Excuse me, I was like, he literally gonna take a drink and start walking back.
Okay. And as you guys are going?
It is unusual. It's almost like a... You ever had like a really thick preserve or seen a very thick fruit preserve? It kind of reminded me of that.
And when you put it in your mouth, did you feel
invigorated.
anger or
More alive than I have.
That's what
exuberant?
KO would see.
Did you ask?
The room lit up?
No.
Okay.
I felt like I wanted to
Do a little dance?
My
Make a
heart
little
almost
love. Basically, get down tonight.
Yeah. I strongly suspect I know what that is.
It could be kindred.
It's,
Or I'm
doubt.
guessing.
Jonathan.
Kindred.
No.
What?
The name she gave me was
My
that's what
sire
we wrote
might
my
know a
code.
little bit
Adrian.
more about
Adrian,
it
making sure.
than I do. But it's just a matter of her having the time to come up here and check it out herself. Which is kind of why I'm here, is because she didn't have the time.
But not angry or adrenaline filled.
No,
Yeah.
more excited than anything.
Okay. I don't know what that would do.
The door to the bar is going to open, and 3 men are going to walk in. Sonny Black, followed by 2 others. Just to save time of description, because you guys have at least seen him out of character, Scott Dunser, as well as Pete, the mortician. They're all going to walk in.
Did we just
Dressed
see
fine.
that?
I don't think so.
Who was it who was giving us Nick's body?
Michael.
Michael. Okay.
Michael. But yeah, those 3 will walk in, and Sonny is going to just beeline it straight to the bar, straight to you guys. And the other 2 are going to go off and get a booth near.
How you been, Sonny?
Doing good. Here actually to talk to Jay. Got a venture bodyguard now?
Really?
What is that?
That's been the discussion of the night so far.
All right.
It's whatever this is.
Cherry Moon.
Cherry Moon?
Yeah, that drug's been flying all over the place the last couple weeks. You got what? They got Tremere working on it now?
Yeah, they have no idea what the stuff is.
I don't know, but like... I hear it's good.
It is.
Got a couple of my kind that have taken a liking to it.
I'm really curious about how it's made.
I don't know. I don't know who makes it, so...
More effectively, I'm also wondering what are the negative effects of it.
From what I hear, it's probably something concocted by the Dustborn. They do all kinds of things, though, so...
You think it's a form of their alchemy?
Possibly. Could just be dead blood that made to taste better or something like that. I'm not really sure.
Could be related to what we
Be
found.
incredibly useful, though, if the idea of being able to preserve dead blood like that,
Well, I can preserve dead blood like that.
and still be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons I'm here to talk to Jay. It's an acquired taste, but, you know.
Yeah.
Something you found?
While checking out our domain.
Oh, yeah, how's the whole hometown stretch of Cam territory going on, anyway?
Slowly progressing.
I still say that's some kind of trap. You don't give kids the keys to a house. That's all that I'm saying.
That's why it's slowly progressing. We don't rush shit. We found a drug den run by Dustborn.
Ooh. How stereotypical of it.
They were doing something similar to blood meth.
Blood meth. That's just...
Because regular meth isn't bad
That's
enough.
just a vampire tooth fairy's dream, isn't it?
Apparently. And apparently, for reasons that they finally...
Don't worry, we'll have toothless vampire tweakers. In
They,
no time.
the one with the recipe got away.
So you chased them out of your territory and ta-da?
No, it's pretty much being searched. If we find it, these...
Oh, wow. That's... Is King okay with that?
Oh, we'll present them to him first.
Anyway, Jay, you don't look like you're feeling any better than you were last night.
It's quieter here.
True.
Mostly.
Should we take this to a private booth then?
I was halfway thinking this was involved until you arrived and didn't seem to know about it.
I mean, I've heard of Cherry Moon, but I'm not calling you here for some, like, blood drug.
You said meet you. I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
So what's the story then?
Well, you were interested in getting a hold of some...
Way to wake Nick up.
Yeah,
Yes.
creative ways to wake up a sleeping kindred. How in the know are your buddies here? Like, I know
He was there.
I'm in the
I know
know.
Tom was there and everything, but what about
I don't know this person.
well, they're in the same coterie.
That doesn't
So
mean I know them.
it doesn't mean anything to you, but
Sydney, why don't we just take a walk, let them talk for a little bit?
I hate to chase you away, but business is business, you understand.
Yeah, I understand.
Besides, I'm sure there's some interesting experiments that you can do on that cherry moon there. And
I actually have some questions for John about that part.
Okay.
you fellas have a good night.
You too.
They get up and start looking for John.
Okay. You'll be able to find him downstairs, but let's go ahead and handle this meeting first. All right, Jay. So you want alternate blood to be able to wake up our Triclops friend.
Unless you had some extremely creative non-blood related way, I don't really care.
I have
As
access.
long as he wakes up, which makes people happy about that, without using the other item.
Okay. I have access to 2 different sources that I can get you without problems. One comes from our sleeping elder. I'm sure you've...
That was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the fun when it comes to what happened with the Whistler and the Hunters and all
I
that.
was there.
Yeah. Well, luckily, actually, our 2 friends over there were part of the coterie that returned him to us when everything was said and done. So I could give you some of Whistler's blood. The thing is, I don't know how strong our friend Nick is, and I don't know if that's going to work out.
Neither do I. I'd be perfectly willing to try, but if it didn't work, I would be coming back to you.
Yes. I have another source, which, if the rumors can be believed, isn't that how we always work? I have a friend who has access to some of the most pure blood that you're ever going to be able to get your hands on. Now, she tells me that this will wake up anyone. So, if you want to get into the fun nitty-gritty of it, from what I understand, it's the blood of Zapathasura himself, the antediluvian of Clan Ravno, if you believe in such things. My friend has access to portions of it, and she said that if it's important and we can work some stuff out, then we might very well be able to get some of that to you, and it will be a guarantee wake up. However, from what I understand, this stuff does some strange things to whoever drinks it.
It sounds like you'd have to pull some strings and it would take some time.
I pull some strings and it'll take me a couple hours. I have access to getting it. Luckily, I have a friend who has it. So, again, it's strong, reliable rumors. Things that I've seen her be able to do is just kind of...
Well, I'm going to say that really this mostly falls on your decision making, because you're the one who's being asked something specific here. How it happens is a little less important than that it does happen.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying is, like,
My
I'm not really
impression,
sure.
Though, is from the sound of it, there's some kind of a risk either way there.
Well,
With Whistler, though.
with Whistler, we don't know if it's going to work, because we don't know what...
With Whistler, though, whether it's going to work is the extent of the risk.
Now, if you can find out what generation Nick is,
I don't know how I would find that out.
I mean,
He's not exactly.
we had a warlock right here at the bar not more than 5 minutes ago.
Feel free to ask him. I'm sure we can make that happen.
Well, you guys have Nick's body,
Yeah.
so You feel free to ask him.
So if you want
Oh
to...
yes, please give the Tremere salute blood.
That has never ended up badly, not even once.
We don't know what the side effects are in character as of yet. We will find them out eventually.
We will fuck around in time. It really does sound to me, though. Again, to make it very clear, my side isn't asking for anything, isn't that I'm asking for anything specific, except it's asking for a result.
Yeah. Thing is, I have two options for you.
Yes.
One, I don't know if it's going to work.
But
And
seems
one,
easier.
and one,
seems harder, but you're sure it will work.
yes, I'm just not 100% sure on what my contact is going to ask for in return. That is
So-
expensive.
That's expensive. Whistler presumably is pretty readily accessible.
Whistler is readily accessible. I have him.
If you go to fix...
He's my happy little thick-blooded Brita water filter at the moment.
If you go to fix a leaky pipe, first you try patching it, then you try ripping out every pipe in the building and replumbing.
Okay.
But, again, that's kind of on you.
So Whistler split.
I think that seems easier, doesn't it? If it doesn't work, we'll come back to this.
True. He's going to reach into his breast pocket and pull out a small glass rounded off vial that's black that has a cork with what looks like some kind of black stones hot glued onto the top of it with a tiny little skull in the center.
That's adorable.
Well, can't say that the Hecata don't like their arts and crafts. This is Whistler's blood.
Alright. Well, now, my side of it.
Mm-hmm.
20, we said.
Yep.
You seemed to have some specific ideas on what. Is that why you called here? Is there something here?
Neutral ground.
Okay.
Neutral ground that also you won't be uncomfortable with. You seem to have an issue with Frankie's place.
Yes.
I take it you're sensitive to wraiths.
There's a lot going on.
There are a lot
Yes,
going
there
on there. See, last time there wasn't that much going on there, and we were raided and firebombed. So I decided to take some precautions in the next one. I'm not losing another restaurant. See that kid over there? And he's going to point over to Pete. That kid Pete and my cousin Scott. Pete is going to be the one who's going to be able to get you to do your thing. Okay? We'll get that taken care of, but he's the contact that's going to be able to work with you. He is a cousin in blood alone. He is not actually, he's not family. I feel the need to warn people when they're dealing with the flesh eaters and all. I've never seen him do anything wrong. He's a good kid from what I can tell. I just don't trust them as far as I can throw them. I can throw them pretty fucking far, but just giving you a little bit of a heads up.
So work with Pete.
Work with Pete, and I will trust you on this.
Does Pete have a phone number?
Yeah. He'll take out a card and a pen and scribble down Pete's number. He'll write Pete on it, and he'll give it to you. Now, Pete can also be found if for some reason he's not answering the phone. He works in the morgue at the new hospital that's being built, being fleshed out, so to speak. He is the city's night shift coroner.
Okay. That doesn't seem all that fresh, to be honest.
I didn't say that you were going to be using what he's got. I'm saying that he'll be able to help you.
Okay.
Alright?
I take that to mean he'll help me find what it is that you want.
Mhm.
Because I'm just here for the bottle service.
Exactly. And I'm giving this to you now.
Yes.
And you're going to reach out to Pete when you can.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to take a little while, but
I'm sure it will.
we'll get started. I don't know either. Obviously, showing up at the restaurant, but other than that, I don't know either how I'd reach you.
Well, my phone number's on the back of or on the front of the card that I gave you with Pete's on it, so you should be able to get a hold of me pretty easy. Not to mention, just ask for Sonny. You'll get a hold of me. I'm the only one left.
What happened to Red?
Ripped apart by wraiths. See, Sal was sloppy.
I did hear about that. Okay, well, I'll let you know how this goes. In a suitably cryptic manner.
You do that.
And I will be working with Pete then.
And if you do find the fact that you may need that special vintage that we may have access to, you let me know.
Well, that's part and parcel with it didn't.
Yeah. But if you do,
Let's hope not. That sounds complicated.
it'd be an even trade. We're looking for something. So,
Okay, well. While you're here, though, what can you tell me about the new guy?
about the new guy?
Hanging out with our blue blood friend.
Well, gossip. Love me some gossip.
That's Gossip Girl.
So, the our young Sydney there is a moderately young Tremere whose sire is, information's a little bit behind date right now, but sire's gunning for Primogen for the Tremere of Portland. But there's another guy gunning for Primogen by the name of Gore. He's a lot more vicious, so to speak. He's the kind of zap first, ask questions later kind of wizard. And I don't know how much you know about what's going on with the Tremere right now, but their foundations have been shaken. Split into several houses. Gore's a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to the way things are going. Sydney's sire.
Milwaukee was absolute chaos.
Oh, I'm sure it would be, considering the fact that that little prick Nikolai was Primogen. But, Sydney's sire, on the other hand, belongs to the Karna house. Apparently, they're a group of Tremere who found out how to break the blood bond and got away from their houses. Severely doubt Gore's going to let that actually happen. Aside from that, seems like a good kid. It's pretty much all I know, though. Sire drives like a bat out of hell. Dresses like a Ventrue, talks like a Bruja. He's gonna end up leaving you, but we'll get to this walk that you guys are taking now. So you guys walk away. Where you guys go?
While we're catching up, we're trying to find John. Ask him a couple questions about the vial.
Oh, he's not hard to find downstairs.
Any chance did he tell you where he found that?
No, I'm kind of curious myself.
Yeah, you can find him. It's not hard. He's downstairs in the lounge area, explaining somebody. He's at the end of an explanation of how the restaurant works as you guys walk up. So, any luck?
Very unusual. Where did you find him?
In the restaurant.
In the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like,
So possibly a client brought it in.
Found it on the floor of the women's bathroom. Like it looked like somebody maybe dropped it and rolled behind the trash can kind of thing.
I really don't know much about it. I mean, I could.
I've heard
It's got some. It's odd.
I've heard there's like some kind of new blood drug going around.
Yes.
And yeah.
this might be the
the-
upgrade.
Sonny was apparently familiar with it. He called it moon cherry.
Cherry moon.
Cherry moon.
Cherry moon?
Yeah.
I mean, given the smell,
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Something like this could be highly addictive.
We've had that for 2 days. And it still seems potent.
It's definitely been treated with some kind of, preserve, some kind of preserve magic. I think. We were speculating whether or not this could be a form of thin blood alchemy.
I mean, that'd be a teeny question, but
Ooh, Teeny, I love that girl. We can actually ask her.
I don't know if they would actually be okay with us coming in. I mean, yeah. I mean, they generally don't they only generally cater to thin bloods at their place?
I mean, as long as you guys are polite and stuff.
Yeah.
From what I understand, there's a group of Cam that are trying to push for Teeny to become like a representative of the Thin Bloods. Almost like a Dustborn Primogen or something like that.
Judging by how what I've heard about how the Camarilla treat thin bloods, I don't think that's going to go over too well.
Aren't you Cam?
My sire's very odd when it comes to. She speaks her mind, and so when she has an opinion about something, she just blurts it out.
She likes to skip between the lines.
Which I kind of like, because that way I'm under no delusion of what to expect with her.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But I mean, from what I understand, the Camarillas never had a very good rapport with Thin Bloods.
No.
So
They're-
I mean,
They're a bunch of... It's a lot better. Like, I know you guys are younger, but like, it's a lot better since... Like, I feel awful saying this, because like, speaking ill of people who aren't around and stuff to defend themselves, but like, it's a lot easier since the Beckoning. All the elders just kind of packed up, left, and a good portion of the paranoia of like the end times and stuff like that went with them. So,
but I mean, at the same time, do we know where they went? I mean, if they're all dead, I mean, eventually couldn't that work its way down?
I'm not saying that there's not a level of paranoia with us. I'm just saying that we're not dealing with a bunch of
Old school fanatics.
old capes running around talking about how, like, if the Duskborn are here, it means that it's a portent to the apocalypse. Like, it's just, it's a lot easier not dealing with that crap. Gehenna cults and all that is just not something that I want to have to deal with.
I can see your perspective from that. I mean, I never really had to deal with any old...
My grandsire is frickin' psychotic, man. When it comes to that kind of thing, he is terrified of the idea of the end times. And like, I don't even have my sire as a buffer anymore to keep him off me. So, but luckily he's not here.
I do kind of wish my sire had the chance to come out here to take a look at this stuff.
I really appreciate the fact that you came out. I do. But, like, I don't know. Can't you guys, like, scry blood or something?
She might be able to do that. As you point out, we haven't been around for that long.
Yeah,
so
you guys are young.
I'm still in the process of being tutored. At the same time, I'm still running business. And
Yeah, no, and that's no...
yeah,
That's not against you
From what
guys.
I understand, you've not been around all that long either. From what I understand,
I've been around.
longer than us, obviously.
Yeah. I was embraced in 98,
but- yeah.
so it's been a while.
Okay, so you've had time to get used to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, and I'm not trying to overstep on anybody's, boundaries or like, I'm not trying to offend, but what about those guys over at the Aspen Pearl?
Oh, the Setites.
It's an occult shop. It's Kindred run occult shop. Do they know anything?
Might be someone to talk to. I'd be willing to talk to them.
I'm not trying to...
No.
Like, I understand that they're anarch and stuff, but, like... Answers are answers.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm very curious about it myself because, I only tried just a little bit. I just put a dab on my finger and it almost makes you feel like you're alive again. I can only imagine how addictive, especially someone who's been around for a long time, to have that feeling again.
Yeah. I guess you'd have to try it, wouldn't you, to get answers?
It's the only thing I could think of to really, truly investigate it.
Well, there's a good number of Toreador who are really getting into this stuff. They're getting it from somewhere. They can't all be finding it in bathrooms.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be paying for it.
I can check around with the Aspen Pearl.
If you don't mind. I just don't...
Excuse me, I completely slipped earlier when I called them Setites. I would have said ministry, but because my character's never been called.
That's true. You really wouldn't know them as the Setites.
Yeah.
You'd know them as the ministry. That's true.
Sorry, that was me as the player who has been playing this game for 20 plus
I
years.
appreciate the correction. So there's a good chance that I would call them Setites. So
I just realized yeah. Sorry, old habit.
yeah.
But I would be willing to talk to the ministry, see if they know anything about it. And,
Yeah. Every time you say something like anarch or ministry or anything like that, he looks out the door. Like he just eyes shoot straight over.
All right. If nothing else, what do you want to do with this?
That's up to you. You can.
I would like.
I would like that out of my establishment.
Okay.
Because
take it to my sire for further experimentation.
Yeah, the Penny Diners Club is pretty strict about no drugs.
Yes.
And I usually say that when it comes to my donors. I didn't think I'd have to say that when it comes to my kindred.
You would hope you didn't have to.
Yeah.
But like I said, that feeling, that rush.
No, I'll take your word for it.
Like I said, I only had a small.
Dude, I like sitting outside in the rain.
Yeah.
So I completely understand on that one, but
Yeah, but I'm gonna take the remainder. Take it over to my sire, see what she has to say about it. Maybe she can try to discern the origins, unless the ministry might have answers.
yeah.
If not the ministry, then we could try Thin Bloods next.
Sounds reasonable.
Just by process of elimination.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, if nothing else, you know how to reach me.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know where your shop is and all that.
Yep. You're more than welcome to stop by at any time.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and take my leave for the night.
Okay.
Eventually, I come downstairs.
Yeah.
Down into the,
By the time they're done having their conversation, you would be done with your conversation and be heading on downstairs.
well, we have something that might work.
That's good.
I guess I need you to get me into the museum, please.
In the background, while you guys are having your conversation, that woman who spoke with you has come down and is speaking with John, and he's... It seems to be like a polite yet animated conversation that he doesn't want to have. So...
Torrid orders. Sure. Do you have a right there, or
Okay.
do you need a lift?
I can get a taxi, I guess.
I can take you there, no problem.
Great.
I asked my sire if she could give him a lift.
Hell no. Who is saying that out loud? Hell no.
Anyways.
You guys are heading to the museum?
At least Jay and I
These
are.
two are.
What's wrong with your sire?
Okay.
I'll let him explain.
She's a good person. As long as she's not behind the wheel.
Road rage.
Do you remember that old Warner Brothers cartoon? I think it was Goofy, and he was such a nice guy until he got behind the wheel that became Mr. Terror.
I was going to compare her to Jekyll and Hyde. Dr. Jekyll when she's talking to you normally, Mr. Hyde behind the wheel.
It doesn't sound very pleasant.
Hmm.
Well, you mentioned your sire's robust driving habits.
Oh, no.
And if you were to get into an accident
What?
that you couldn't extricate
You
yourself
outside?
from the material of the vehicle, and you were just stuck there until day.
Hey, aren't you a cheery fellow?
What is happening? You guys are going to the museum? What about you?
I'm still in the Old Town District. I'm going to start walking toward my shop.
Okay. The only reason I'm asking is because you guys have a communal haven.
We
That-
do?
Yeah, the museum.
Well, when I was here, they were still trying to...
True. I mean, you know they were working on that, though. And he's bringing an anarch to your communal haven to collect some dude's body.
Yeah, I've got to nod it out of that.
Okay.
And,
My ass would be all over that, but that's just me.
I mean, I can always
Well,
pop
no.
the question, do you want to see our new place?
oh. Well. Wait, we have a place?
We're working on it, but yeah, we can almost have it.
So that place in Chinatown, you were trying to get it, or did you
Yeah.
find something else?
It has a dead body in it. It's very homey.
Why is there a dead body?
Mostly dead.
Oh, mostly dead
Nope.
body.
Don't ask the questions until you see the body. Come on, I know you wanna.
Wow.
It's probably carried.
You notice it kills the cat, but satisfaction brought him back.
I worry for you. I really do. I really shouldn't. All right.
What have I done?
I guess I'm gonna go looking at the body.
I'm just
Maybe I'll
using
poke
one
it
of
with
the
a
main
stick.
places in our
I'm just
domain.
glad I don't have to split the party, that's all.
I'm just bringing a curry made in a possible somebody fixing the piping to one of our domains to take a look.
I'm not offended. That's what almost everybody says when I come to visit.
Okay. Anyways, so
Is my car four doors? That's a good question. I was actually looking at it, dude. It is.
Okay. So it's not that hard to get into the back seat of the car. That's good.
You just have to pull one of the seats forward, then you can get in.
All right. What kind of car are you guys driving?
It's an Audi Sport.
Wow. Okay. So
Ventru car.
a Ventru car, yes. So you guys hop into his Audi, and it's literally like 3 or 4 blocks away. It's not. It would not have been worth calling a cab. With the way red lights work and pedestrian traffic, you probably could have walked there in about the same time as driving. But he pulls up. Where you park? You just park roadside of the museum?
Yeah, go to the museum.
All right. So you guys end up driving in between these 2 massive, incredibly graffitied lion statues. And it's not too far from the actual entrance of the Chinatown district, where there's this square building with Chinese-inspired architecture, but obviously American architecture, with a banner that runs around the entire thing that's very sun-faded, but you can almost make out like an 8-bit dragon on it. Most of the windows are covered with plywood. And aside from like the random person sleeping on the street, this place is pretty empty right now at this time of night. But yeah, you park, and you know which wood
Board to
plank
take
is.
out.
Yeah, you know which plank of plyboard is
The loose one.
is loose with a broken window behind it. But
Fabulous.
Gentlemen.
It's good to see that, unlike the Anarchs, at least the Camarilla knows how to live well. I crawl in.
It's a pretty open area. Most of the carpet has been rolled over onto one side, bare concrete floors. There's some displays that are like condensation on the inside of the glass, the wood's rotting. This place looks like it's been empty for quite some time. But as you enter the area, there's automatic feeling of being watched. And you guys come in right after.
I'm the last one to come in and
Yeah.
stuff like
As soon as you walk in, Ling will make himself known. So there's a Chinese guy in a brown bomber jacket and dirty blue jeans, a t-shirt, who steps out of the shadows, almost melts out of the shadows. Like you swear you could see the corner of that wall, but he steps out of the shadows like he was part of them. Brought friends?
Yeah, we're checking
I don't
out.
think you've met Ling.
Was he here for the drug raid?
No.
No. Then no, he hasn't.
Okay.
Coterie made acquaintance.
Oh, you're the Tremere.
yes.
Okay. Acquaintance. It's nice to see you're making friends.
Starts to have friends everywhere.
Yeah. Johnny's at a meeting.
Ooh. How's he doing?
He's at a meeting.
Once again,
So-
how's he doing?
I mean, if he's staying in the program.
That's good. Any more episodes, by any chance?
I mean, I'm trying to stay away from as much as possible. So, what's up?
We got another acquaintance members for us downstairs having a deep sleep.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess I've just been keeping watch.
That's appreciated.
Yeah. So he'll lead to some doors that lead to some rickety stairs to the most upkept, clean part of this entire area. The floors look like they're speckled in different colors: black, blue, gray, white. And it kind of like runs up maybe like 2 inches up the wall, kind of curves in. Everything's been dusted, everything's been cleaned. There's a trash can near the stairs filled with like McDonald's bags and pizza boxes and stuff like that.
The meth doesn't get that kid, his diet will.
Yeah. And there's a cot down here, like a foldable cot with blankets and pillow and stuff like that. Somebody's been living down here. And then you'd probably take them to another, like a locked door, like a storage area, and there you find Nick.
Well, he looks about the same as he did before. I guess it's time to find out if this is worth what we're paying. What do you got?
I was opening his mouth, but
Oh. Well, it looks like, if that's the case, it looks like you're tearing his jaw off. Throwing it on the other
Well,
side
apparently
of
he's
the
got
door.
one of those detachable jaws like a predator.
are we going Soul Reaver here? Take it off.
Actually, I like this idea. If he bites, it won't be my hand.
Now, real quick, time freeze. No one's explained exactly how torpor works for the two of you. That's great. Do you think Jay would have picked up on how this is going to work?
It's been a good amount of months.
Jay knows a few things.
Okay.
What you mean, like how ravenous he's going to be when he wakes up?
Wits plus insight.
Would my sire have told me?
That's a great question.
Because that's
Will
kind
plus
of
insight.
why I was talking about.
I'll let you
was
do
mentioned.
intelligence plus occult.
Okay.
Since you may have had actual training, and I know for a fact Jay's sire didn't teach him shit.
1, 2,
Yeah, on the other
3,
hand.
4, 5 successes.
5 successes?
Um,
2 successes. Okay. Luckily, we do have a Tremere who's, like, although unconventional methods of training, you know that when a vampire goes into torpor from choice, or damage, really, either way, if a kindred goes into torpor one way or the other, either choice or damage, their body consumes all of the blood they have in their system first. This guy is empty. Completely empty.
Before we try to feed him, we probably should have other blood here. Otherwise, he's going to look at us as food.
Close the mouth.
It's like a fucking 1.5 wide gaping
that's what I was
maw.
talking about.
Not that I don't appreciate
1, 2, 3,
the
not it.
pantomime.
No. That is not how this shit works. Both of you know it.
It is how it works.
This is how it works in this table.
Okay.
And this how it works in this table.
That's how
This
just get,
table aside,
That's how it works with you three chuckle fucks.
this table aside,
Can we
this is the official mechanism of anarch governance.
I'm not
Deny
anarch.
it. I dare you. You've
I'm
seen
not
it. This is
anarch.
how we. Yes, but I am. I don't know his excuse is he's a chuckle fuck. My excuse is this is how decisions are made. We need to go with something, or we're going with my original plan,
Okay.
which is I think I can run out of this room faster than either of you two.
Right. So is there like...
Okay.
Yeah, the bar seems
what's
to
up?
be moving.
Do we have anyone that we can get some bags of blood from?
Alright, you had a 5. You rolled a 5.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and also give you... Are you sure bags are going to work?
Not at his age.
Well, he doesn't know anything about it. But, like,
Oh, that's right. He did.
the random
that.
thought
Out
of...
loud.
Well, then
You guys,
this person's
they're
gonna
not
be-
using
Okay.
their blood to
Let
wake
me,
him
let
up.
me rephrase then, because he did say bags. That won't work at his age.
Okay. Right. So should we just like get somebody, leave them in the room like a fucking rat we're about to feed to a snake, and walk out?
Yeah. How
That's what I forgot to do today.
Oh, feed the snake.
Yeah, he's fine.
He doesn't. He's,
Get him tomorrow.
You're that comfortable just feeding a human to
not really,
predator?
but I'm at the same time.
that they won't die well.
I know. Okay. Suggestions. I'm open to them. I mean,
Whoever runs out of the room the slowest.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna start walking out the room, and
Oh my god, don't make me do this. Please don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it.
Well, he's leaving and he's got his
What
finger
is
on
that?
his nose.
Hey, Sydney.
I'm not doing it.
Okay. This has been fun, but all joshing aside,
I mean, we could just put a little bit of everybody in a baggie.
get a big bowl. Everybody cuts themselves or everybody bleeds.
There we go.
You know,
And then run out of the room as fast as possible.
that whispering is going to be like, this place is weird. Shh, so much power.
Okay.
I mean, I'm up for that.
You know what? That's not a bad suggestion.
Earth's blood is close to the surface here.
All right. So who's got a punch bowl?
I mean, I look around. Is there any, like, plastic bowl or anything?
There's nothing in here.
5-gallon bucket.
The closest thing to a contain... Yes, they did specifically bring a 5-gallon bucket down here just in case he had to pee or poop in it.
I am not touching that.
And did he?
Dude, they have a pet meth head right now.
Yes.
Don't look at me.
No, he did not use it because you guys rushed him off to a freaking camp, wood cabin for a log
To
cabin.
Camp Inquisition.
Yeah.
So he didn't use it at all?
Welcome camp.
No, he never had a chance.
There we go.
So
Okay.
yes,
Look at that.
it's a little dusty inside, but there it is.
Yeah, whatever.
Exactly.
You know, in a state of frenzy, I don't think he's going to care. And it's better than him going after all of us.
Agreed.
So, yeah. We feed him that.
I'm not. I was
Or
actually,
use your teeth.
I was gonna buy myself and
He's
pour
holding out
one
a
down.
sharpened wrench.
You are putting a rouse check's worth of blood into the thing.
Likewise.
Ouch.
You are taking that rouse.
Yeah, same.
Oh, do we get to roll?
Success.
Okay.
Oh,
You know, I'm
failure.
weak.
Doesn't matter.
So 3 rouse checks
Why
worth
do
of
I
blood.
feel like we're about to do the Volvery?
For
I
him,
don't
you
know
are.
about
It's a
that.
really shitty Volver.
Yeah, it really is. This is the worst Volvery cup I ever had.
This
Oh,
is the bone
it's
now
the
version
space
of the
for
freaking Baldry
everybody.
Cup.
I mean, technically, this is the best one for a big party.
Yeah.
A 5-gallon bucket.
No, it'll be a canister. That's what you want.
It's better than the let's pour the blood down the barrel of a shotgun into your mouth.
Oh, God.
What? That's a thing.
Cool. Now set this. We gotta set this near him.
What's
forget
our
to close the
Volder
door.
cup? This bedpan.
Don't forget to close the door.
No, no,
when you
no,
out.
no, no, no.
Terrible.
No.
You know what?
No.
I could see it.
Okay. Look. Here's the door. Here's him. This goes on the floor in between him and the door. So, because if it's too close to him, if he thrashes around, well, he'll spill it and then he'll lick it up out of the concrete. That actually could work. Point is, if he's running, that's what arrests his movement, and then we close the door, and we come back in when the screaming and slurping stops. So,
Who's gonna pour the blood to wake him up down his throat and then hope to God they run?
Not it.
you're holding. You were holding before.
Yep.
I'm not anymore.
I'm pouring on 3, and we're both running on 3.5.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to be at the door. This way, as soon as they run
You can
past, I can
slam the
slam
door.
it shut.
You can definitely have
That's a good idea.
slam
And it
the
keeps me
door
the
shut.
furthest away from this.
Okay.
Also means if he goes after him, I can slam the door shut too.
1, 2, 3. I'm not throwing this.
Okay.
Pouring it as soon as he's done pouring, close it out.
You pop the cap and go to pour it. What is everybody's hunger level at?
3.
3? I need rouse
Wait, no,
check.
1.
I need...
Because I fed it.
Good job. I need a... I need a willpower... I need
don't fuck this up.
I need a composure plus resolve roll from the 2 people who are holding on to the situation at the moment.
Including hunger die for this one?
Oh, yeah. I will let you guys pass through this without a problem, but there is definitely a, oh my god, that smells good. So you pop open the vial, smell fills the room, and it is incredible. You actually kind of think you see the guy's eyes twitch a little bit just from opening the vial.
This is a good sign.
And pour it in, and run.
And run.
Yeah, as soon as they get past the door, slamming it.
Okay.
Shut.
You definitely hear movement behind you as you're going up those stairs. And you guys just go and shut the door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't hear any banging. You don't hear any yelling, screaming, growling, or anything like that. You actually don't hear any like massively bestial anything.
After a couple of minutes, I'll crack it open the door to peek.
Okay. How long do you think?
Maybe a minute or two.
Minute or two?
Because, I mean, if he's hungry, he's going to go for the blood immediately. And
Yeah. When you guys open the door, and the small amount of light goes down, you see him standing straight up, holding the bucket like it's a big gulp cup, just tilting it back, drinking it. Just
Okay.
as politely as you can drink out of a 5-gallon bucket. When he hears you guys moving around, he's going to put the bucket down, and it's him standing up, looking up at you guys with 3 eyes, all open, all on you. Jay.
Nick.
Oh, sorry. Just kind of happens when you wake up.
I had to see it to believe it.
You have your high beams on.
Who are your friends?
These are the Camarilla. So
Okay.
that's
Coordinate with
Thomas.
one of your dear friends,
That's his friend, the witch.
Adrian.
Sydney.
Adrian got embraced. God damn it.
He's actually looking for you. Big time.
Well, I assumed if he was here, he's probably looking for me. Fuck. Alright.
Dania sends regards, I'm sure.
Is everybody okay?
I just didn't see her tonight.
Did Valentino get out?
You know, he actually talked.
I
No.
haven't seen him since the riot. Didn't.
These cops came to our door, like security guards or something, and like they just went nuts.
I'm trying to remember what my character knows on the subject.
Probably nothing.
He just Sonny Black just told you that they haven't seen Valentino
Okay.
or Lorenzo at all since the raid.
Yeah, so most of what I know is out of the character.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. How'd you guys find me? Because I jumped into the furnace and just kind of hoped.
We got you from Hecata.
That makes sense.
Apparently, they found you inside of the furnace.
Yeah, I crawled into a furnace. I figured who's going to think to look for a vampire in a furnace?
They found you there, all
That's
apparently tortured
incredibly
out.
morbid.
I
I
mean,
guess it worked.
They found you there all tortured out, and Did you storage queue?
Yeah, I was in there for a while.
We went to some what's it, funeral home and picked you up.
Yeah, that's where we were.
Yes, we picked you up, dashed you here. I just got back making a deal with Sonny Black to get what would wake you up, which did seem to work.
What'd you use?
Do you know a vampire named Whistler?
Yes.
Whistler's also in Torpor.
They used whistlers.
To wake you.
Okay, well, that means I can't help him.
Probably not. Yeah, I bought some of that to wake you up.
Thank you.
That seems to
Sweet,
work.
sweet juice, if you want to call it.
Huh?
At this point,
What?
sweet, sweet juice. At this point,
I think he's got the sweet, sweet juice.
could be.
There's some kind of blood drug circulating around.
Oh, pleasant.
Didn't really think through what you've missed. The Second Inquisition attack.
Again,
They gassed half the city.
the red stuff.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
That's how Tinny and I ended up in a basement with Whistler's comatose body.
There is a new Camarilla Prince.
Oh, wow, really?
Malkavian Prince.
I mean, all right.
King.
Damien King.
Yeah. A lot of local landmarks burned down in rioting and have moved business to other places. Sonny's is in a new spot.
From the Pearl District.
Old Town, isn't
Old Town, is here? I think it was
Then-
in Old Town that he moved to the Pearl District.
Yeah,
it?
they were.
Or no, it's
The other way
probably the
around?
Penny Diners. Is
Both actually
Both.
did that. Yeah.
Penny Diners clubs moved.
Oh, Frankie's place is actually in the New Orleans district now.
Okay.
All right. So what now? You got me up.
I don't know. Take back to the last drop until Tinia tells me. What
Pretty much it, in my opinion, what he's trying to say is go to the last drop, fucking celebrate you woke up, and wait for everybody to regroup.
That's like a local kindred hangout, isn't it? Last drop.
Yeah, we
It's the
probably
Anna hangout.
should take him to get some more blood because that little bit he got from us probably isn't enough.
I could eat.
Same.
I don't know how much they just gave you to me, or they just gave me to you.
Tinia bought you.
Okay.
Let's rephrase that. I bought him.
You
Did
did? I thought there was a
5-year
thing.
deal.
Oh, that's right.
did
You buy Venture could buy anything.
did the
it sounds like.
Hakata say anything about my blood disease?
They claimed that you weren't super contagious, which is comforting.
Super contagious or contagious?
I don't know if I was there for that talk.
Blood disease?
I have something in my body, some kind of like blood-borne pathogen fungus thing,
I
Was
told
I?
you it was a plague bearer, right?
and
I
like
did on the way in here.
I'm trying to remember if I was there for that talk. I don't think he only told you.
I mean, if the Hekata let me go, they had to have found something out, right? They're not just going to release something that's going to cause a problem.
I mean, have you met the Hakata?
Okay, so we don't know. I don't.
Earlier this year.
I don't know whether or not if I feed from someone, it spreads.
Earlier this year, the Hakata left a hole to hell open in a parking garage. They're not very responsive.
That was Valentino, and he got distracted. I'm not sticking up for him on that. That was a really fuck thing to do, but like, there was an excuse.
They're not very responsible.
All right.
Fuck it, I want to say that I was there for that conversation.
Out of character, I can't quite remember.
See, I mean, neither. I'm like,
You can't quite remember, then you don't remember. That's fine.
So they said they tested
because you did
some
mention
stuff,
out of character. You did mention something about it, and I do remember.
but I
only
don't
my
know
character
that
was
I
there.
believe them fully. To be honest, I'd be more comfortable with like if you wanted to wear some Clorox wipes.
Use a straw,
I
maybe.
don't know.
Okay. There was a Hikata by the name of Pete who is running the tests on me. So if anybody knows, it's going to be him.
have his number. I'm supposed to talk to him. Hang
Okay.
on. I have to text about
If
this.
you do talk to him, ask him if he knows anything about the fungus, the cicada thing, and hopefully we can move on from that.
Okay, I'm gonna get out my Nokia.
Fungus and cicadas.
Yeah, apparently there's these bugs called the cicadas. They sleep for like 13 years at a time. And there's some kind of like weird fungus that like stops them from like procreating. But like it kills them too.
I've got 3 levels of academics. Can I make a roll to see if I might know a little bit
Sure,
about this?
intelligence plus academics.
Meanwhile-
It's going to be a difficult one because it is a rather obscure thing.
Yeah, I figured that, but it's worth a
Text Sunny Black. Yes. Period. It sent text.
Cool.
Text Pete. Need to meet with you.
I'm guessing with 2 successes, that's not enough for that.
No. Who is this? You get a text back from Pete.
I'm supposed to be working with you.
Your Sonny's meeting this earlier tonight.
Yes.
Where?
We don't know how it works.
Anywhere near Chinatown? Question mark.
Okay. ...
Suggest something. Period.
Gardens?
Gardens. Period.
Okay. He says gardens 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's literally like a block away from here.
Yeah, but he has to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay, so you're gonna like any
Okay.
moves?
Peter. I assume it's Peter. I don't know. Pete's gonna meet us in the gardens in about 15 minutes.
Okay. Where are the gardens?
Like a block away from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not far.
Cool.
So we can ask more about your thing too.
Sounds great.
August 2023, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
well that's not as long as last time. That's good.
You used to this kind of stuff happening?
I was torpid for like 10 years.
Ew. I can't imagine what kind of shock that would have been after that long.
I mean, I was kidnapped by Society of Leopold Hunters, held captive, pretty much put myself in torpor with the hunger strike. And then God knows what they did to me after that, but then I woke up in Portland with the Hikata standing around me, offering me help.
Well, I mean, better than nothing.
It could be so much worse.
Oh, I gotta check on Dan.
It could have been found by the Sabat,
Or just not found.
or just not found at all.
Yeah, well, that's true, I guess.
Wonder
Okay.
how many gibbering madmen are just people who got buried long enough ago that nobody speaks their language anymore.
Elder kindred are found constantly. Right after I was turned, actually, we heard news of 12 or 13 of my kind found outside Prague in some silver mine.
Huh.
Sword found them though, so didn't really go over well.
That's a Ah,
What?
nothing. So why did you guys pick this museum specifically?
You will have to talk to Nosferatu about that one.
Okay. Are they here?
Not at the moment.
Are you sure?
Jazz? Nope.
Okay. Maybe leave a note.
Should we start heading down to the park, or?
Probably.
Can you catch me a rat so I can leave her a note? She doesn't have a phone.
That's how you get messages back and forth to her?
I'm just fucking around with
Oh, I don't know. You said Nosferatu? I thought maybe. It's like a pigeon thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but he made like a writing or carving gesture. It's like,
He said, get me a rat, I'll leave her a note. I assume that meant like tie a note to a rat and send it on its way.
well, I thought he was gonna do that entrails thing.
Ah,
Dude.
What?
You're the one over here making carving gestures.
I never say card.
alright, so where are we going?
Upstairs, mainly lead you guys out and close the place down.
Okay. There's going to be a little bit of an awkward hey
Probably.
when he sees Lee up front. Lee's just going to sit there and just head nod. Which way out?
The window.
Okay.
Put it down. Everybody out.
He's going to start crawling out. Okay.
Process.
What happened in the last few months? If this is the
You do not want to know.
Hey, I'm not the one who suggested
He's the
this place.
I never said a thing.
Place.
I'm not. I'm just looking away. I'm like, hey, everybody out. Hey, everybody out.
He steps outside and looks around and just looks instantly depressed.
Work in progress. Close the place down.
Yeah. You can see the garden entrance from the museum. It's not even a block away.
I'm just particularly appreciating Nick's corresponding reaction.
You see the big sign that says, Chinese gardens, and head on over, and there's this like really one beautiful established like door with this ring on it that like the handle, and then you got this other door that's like painted the same color and has this like crappy little ring just nailed to it that's like a quarter of the size of the other one. Like they tried, but you can't see into the gardens because there's plywood nailed to the inside where you would be able to see things.
Congratulations, you guys are like the anti-recruitment poster for the Camarilla now. It's like if Jay ever thought the Camarilla was a hip, happening, wealthy, sophisticated group, you have disabused him of this notion.
You guys get over there and you hear somebody yell, "Nick!" Just as you guys are approaching, and it's that kid Pete you saw, in the Penny Diners Club. He's like, "Oh, you're up. You're vertical. Good job." So, what can I do for you guys?
Well, I'm supposed to work with you on that project.
Yeah.
Nick
yeah.
is part and parcel of the whole endeavor, and he had some questions.
I just need to know, contagious? You should be fine. Biting doesn't seem to cause anything. Disciplines definitely don't. I don't know where that crazy idea came from. Other than that, the only thing that we didn't try doing is seeing what happens when other people drink your blood. But, just don't do that. That's just
seems like a really bad idea.
common sense. Don't let anybody else drink your blood. But other than that, you should be able to feed without a problem. And you shouldn't pass anything. It's absolutely fine. Okay, cool, good. So, Jay, what exactly is my part in what you need to do for Sunny?
There's been death here.
Yeah, there were like the first of the three-faced murders happened here. Like he'll point up to the gazebo, this massive towering gazebo you can see over the fence.
Yeah, that's
guy was thrown off the top of that. And then there was a copycat, and I think that happened over here too. Then there was the other copy. God damn, yeah, no, there were 3 murders that happened here, all in quick succession.
You're supposed to tell me what we're keeping for Sunny.
I'm supposed to tell you what we're keeping for
Did
Sunny.
he fill you in at all? Sorry.
No, not really.
Trying to be habitually cryptic.
But I mean, I think
looking around, I'm assuming there's no passerby
he
or sign of cameras or anything.
Pete puts his hand on the door, and it instantly starts to like rust on the metal side. The wooden side starts to flake, and the paint starts to peel, and there is a sense of just like unease. But like, it's not as bad as it was like for you in the restaurant, but there is definitely something in the air here. And you hear a snap, and a couple of little metal pieces fall to the ground, and the door just swings wide open. Let's go inside, and we'll talk about it in there. Nobody comes in here after night anyway. So, when you go in here, it's a gorgeous garden. There's a little bit of litter, maybe some tagging here and there, but for the most part, there's like cherry blossom trees in full bloom. There's flowers everywhere. There's these amazing like Chinese dragon statues and lion statues that are like holding lanterns, and like it's lit up. It looks like this place should be open at night. But yeah, he just shuts the door behind you guys, grabs a large rock or brick, and just pushes it to keep the door shut. Okay, no one should be listening in here.
Okay. I'm supposed to can some Vitae.
Okay.
Fair amount of it. I'm supposed to jar 20 bottles for Sunny's collection.
Vitae or blood?
I don't care as long as I don't have to go hunting for it.
Okay, so you just need fresh blood to
Whatever Sunny
preserve?
wants in a jar, I'm supposed to put it in the jars.
Okay, understood. I mean, that's not
If
hard.
he didn't specify something to you, ask him or make something up.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. We can definitely work with that.
Okay.
But Vitae or blood works for what you're trying to do?
Yeah, although Vitae tends to stay good without help, so it seems a little pointless.
Okay, well, I mean, it does actually go bad fairly quickly, actually, but like
Well, it depends who's...
it depends how old the kindred was that had it, yeah.
So, jarring is actually a pretty fast process.
Okay.
I have the ingredients. Well, I didn't bring a whole lot of them.
Well, we'll
I
pick a
just need
night and
flat
we'll...
surface.
Yeah, no, we'll
And
pick a night and do that.
If we're maintaining freshness, it's best if I can get it in there while it's still warm.
Okay. Is this something to plan on doing during like a blood drive kind of deal, or?
You mean like a blood drive?
Yeah, like get it fresh.
Don't they usually process that?
There's different ways of doing it. There is platelets. There's red blood cells. Then you actually take whole blood. We have to pay extra for that, but it is a thing that happens.
By the time they get it into the bags, into the refrigerator, and then through whatever hoops you have to do, it's going to be cold, isn't it?
Not necessarily. The machines themselves are actually designed to keep it warm so it does not go bad.
Resin
You're bottling resonance.
It won't if we get it into the jars fast enough.
Okay, so we're actually going to need
That's-
legit donors for this.
I thought that initially I thought that's why Sonny wanted me to meet in the Penny Diners Club. I thought he had an arrangement.
That's not a bad idea. We can probably talk to that kid John and do that. That probably wouldn't be that big of a problem. I can work it out. I mean, me and him are pretty good friends, so.
Well, I'm entirely in favor because it only takes a few minutes for me to do this each time.
Okay.
And the sooner I can pay off my debt, the happier I will be.
Okay. Give me a couple nights to try to set this up. Well, I'll talk to John and see what we can do. Find out if there's going to be any extra cost. I'm sure there will be because he's going to want to pay his donors and stuff. But for what you're doing, I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal.
Okay.
Probably work that out fairly easily.
Yeah.
Was there anything else, or
That was. That sounds very like a very good plan.
you okay?
I don't like this place.
Oh, well,
I'm finding that a lot harder to find places that are okay to be in lately.
is it the Wraiths?
Maybe.
With the city with as colorful history as Portland is, it's hard to find an area that there aren't
It's nice and quiet.
wraiths or spirits or something left behind.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure you just might be in the wrong city. I can make them go away. They'll stay away from me.
If that's anything like your trick a minute ago, that's almost worse.
I don't know.
Well, I can make a suggestion, and this would only work for like maybe your personal haven, but I could possibly work out a way of doing a ward versus spirits or ward versus race on the building that you reside in, or at least somewhere
More of
that
a van
I don't know how that would work
near
on,
Williamette.
on a vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yes, the general idea is that sounds good. Get the Penny Diner Club set up. Let me know. I'll come down. I'll do my thing. You can take it to Sunny. We say thank you. See you next time.
I'm trying to think of something that might help you with that situation. I wonder why that's actually an issue for you.
Oh, I know why.
Okay. You want to share? Maybe I can help.
I was pulled through oblivion recently.
Oh. Okay. You're still feeling that?
I dream about it during the day.
Okay, so it was just traumatic for not trying to. Yeah. Not trying to say that it's a just, but like it's okay.
There's more to it, but I think I might be haunted.
There's a lot of kindred out there who are haunted without realizing it most of the time. You have lived lives the way that we do, you end up getting some angry dead.
Yeah.
Might be able to work out binding it, capturing it, keeping it away from you. If you're interested in that kind of thing. It would mean more exposure to oblivion, though. But wraiths have been known to start fires.
Can they do that on this end?
They develop friction. Cause a lot of problems. They can do innocent things like cause lichen to grow or grave mold to show up, break glass, but like it
Flicker
can get
Mess
lights.
with the radios.
Throw things sometimes.
yeah. Mess with radios.
Right?
You might have a. There's certain types of wraiths. We call that a ghost in the machine kind of thing. If it's messing with electricity.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have a. I'm still learning. I'm relatively young and new at this, but
I mean, I could still ask my sire how we could work a ward versus wraiths onto a vehicle. Because that sounds
you
like
need
what
a,
you would
you need
need.
the I need the circle to
Yeah.
keep it out of my van, right?
Well, if unfortunately I don't, I haven't been
So-
taught that ward yet. I know how to
The
do
s-
a ward
the
for
simple,
schools.
The simple ward doesn't seem to be that effective. I mean, I guess it's keeping it from fiddling with the steering wheel or the door locks, but
Yeah.
last thing you want is a wraith messing with your steering wheel while you're driving down the highway.
Oh God. Let's go ahead and cut those brake lines while we're at it. Imagine how well that would go.
Yeah.
maybe it's better I haven't moved the van in a while.
We do have the ability to bind them, though, if need be. Because, like, it might not be a wraith at all. It could be a specter.
Just as
Bind it to a brick and throw it in the ocean.
Just as a suggestion.
Could happen.
If you're not about to actively use your van, you could always try removing the terminals from the battery. That way, or the cables from the battery, and that way they won't be able to turn it on if they have that ability.
Why do you think it's haunting you?
There were a couple of incidences with radios and jukeboxes recently.
Okay.
They all play the same song.
Really? That song?
Which song?
Everybody wants to rule the world.
That one.
Ah,
The thing is, wraiths have a hard time seeing us, like in general. From the other side, from what I've heard, they might see some blood red eyes and possibly a circulatory system.
That's good. Is there a way to hide from them better?
Is there a coffee intelligence?
I do not have any made. Do you want me to make some?
That'll be appreciated.
Yeah. Coffee.
Oh, gotcha.
Really, the thing is, like I said, wraiths just can't see us most of the time, and if it is able to see you, if it is able to pinpoint you specifically, and not just like confuse you with other kindred. I never thought I'd actually have to say this, but you might be a touchstone. Which means you'd be something that would be vitally important to the wraith. That actually might make it harder to bind it away from you, actually, because when a wraith finds itself being harmed, like okay, look at it this way. Imagine, let me do this real quick. Imagine like that on the other side, we are the wraiths to them. And they're living solid beings on that side. They have their own sets of powers, like disciplines, like we have. They call them arcanoi. They have their own political systems. If a wraith is walking across the street and a bus hits them and a bus drives exactly where they are from this side, they get injured. Like, humans are wraiths to them. We're phantoms that hunt down the things that are important to them. You don't typically find a wraith that is bound as a fetter to a vampire.
If I could make an obstacle that produced motion in 360 degrees.
The thing is, if you're a fetter, which most wraiths have...
Chains. Maybe whirling on a post.
Most wraiths have anywhere from 1 to 3 fetters. It's very similar to the way that like a lot of kindred discuss like touchstones, like needing to.
Not fire. No, not fire.
The problem is they can retreat into their fetters. If they get injured, it would enter you. That could open you to possession. There's actually kindred in the Hekata that let that happen on purpose because it gives them strength.
It sounds like it could be dangerous.
Oh, it's an incredibly dangerous practice, but if you trust the Wraith, that it's a partnership that's unmatched.
That's only if you trust the Wraith.
True.
I mean,
But the thing is, there's no telling on whether or not this Wraith knows what you are.
Or in this case, whether it means him harm or not.
True, it could just be trying to reach out for attention.
Could be.
It might be trying to reach out the only way that it knows how. Does that song mean anything to you?
It was a specific song of a specific person, the person who dragged me through Oblivion. Used to sing this song. That's why.
This is a Wraith of a kindred?
Can they do that?
I've heard stories about that kind of thing. I mean, shortly before I was embraced, there was an
I
incident.
mean, I'm not the only person who heard that, right?
The music? No, I did heard it.
Okay. Sometimes.
Shortly before I was embraced, there was an elder of the Hekata who was apparently a Wraith and was pulled out of the Shadowlands and put into the body of a human. There was a whole thing about it. I think it actually might be connected to the hole, and he's going to point at the pagoda. I mean, that's always an option. We could put it in a body, and then it's stuck in that body. That's been done before. I actually did that not too long ago. Sorry. He got strangely proud of what he did just a second ago. Like, it just perked up. And in fact, we put one in a kindred.
That seems like moving backwards from killing him.
Well, the thing is, becoming a kindred Wraith is difficult. If this thing is dangerous and it becomes a kindred, then it's susceptible to staking.
He gains all of our weaknesses.
Yeah. That's actually what ended up happening to Constantia, from what I understand. That was the kindred that was pulled out of the Shadowlands, put into a body.
Put him in a body, stake the body, put the body somewhere, leave it there.
I mean, I'm not trying to like downplay what you're going through. It's excessively cruel, but that would work.
That seems risky, is what it seems.
Well, here's another thing. What if
that
we try
starts with
opening a line of communication between you and the
giving
Wraith,
them
and
a
then perhaps you finding out what it
I don't want
wants.
to talk to them.
But, I mean, if you can find out what it wants, maybe it'll leave you alone afterwards. And this way you don't have to run the risk of pissing off a Wraith. You know, I'm just throwing it out there. There might be a way of opening up communication.
The fact that this Wraith can see... I mean, there's ways to opening up communications with Wraiths. I mean, that's easy. But, like...
I mean, I'm not Hakata, but I mean, I have had dealings with some spirits. I've been able to witness things and
Yeah.
receive visions from them sometimes.
We have elder family members who skin ride, from what they call it, where they actually like enter the form of a kindred and help out with certain situations because they have knowledge we don't. But like the Shadowlands is a dangerous place, like not even just for us but for wraiths as well. There's things over there that hunt wraiths. They're wraiths that hunt wraiths. There's a whole like almost like human trafficking situation over there.
So he could get killed.
Wraiths can definitely get killed, yeah. But like I said, they're like us. They gain power. They find ways to wheel and deal the political structure.
He could get in political trouble.
So you're telling me even after I die, I still have to deal with fucking politics?
You can become a wraith.
If I become a Wraith.
They're separated by like legions and different ways you've died.
Violently.
I mean, that's always been a point of debate with the Hikata, because does the death you die as the kindred count, or does you dying as a human count? Does it count as murder or pestilence? Is this a disease? There's so many questions. There's no telling.
Or if a person was willingly embraced, is it
Copy
considered suicide?
But what does that make? Does that make a difference in as far as getting rid of him? Because the way he died most recently was being pancaked by a truck.
Limo.
But limo. I don't know. I was busy chewing on the license plate.
That's true. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of Akata in this city that would be happy to have another wraith.
So we could sell him?
Possibly.
You know, I was suggesting human trafficking of your Wraith.
This is a very
It's not
awkward
mine.
thing.
He
Is
decided he wants to mess with me.
I mean, I'm not really sure how. Like, typically, if you want to catch a wraith, you would utilize its fetter. If it's haunting you the way that it sounds like you might be the fetter, which means you are something very important to him in life.
Could you maybe be a relation to this Wraith?
Right before he died, he kidnapped me to torture me for information on where to find someone he wants.
That doesn't seem adequate.
He doesn't seem to have given up on the idea.
He might not even know who you are.
Does he know he's dead? I mean...
It's really hard not to know that you're dead. There's kind of an introduction thing when it happens. But, like, if all they see is, like, a floating, hungry circulatory system, he would just be drawn to you as a fetter and not even really know who you are. Because they really can't see or hear very well through the shroud without certain abilities. How long has this guy been dead?
3 months.
November.
3 months. Oh, right. November, August, about 8 months.
I don't know if that's long enough to be able to do that. Like, that's... Learning Arcanoi is supposed to be incredibly difficult and illegal in most standpoints.
Illegal.
Yeah, they have whole law systems over on that side.
How do we get hold of a Wraith cop and get him arrested?
Getting a hold of the Death Lords is massively difficult because they really hate us. Working with Wraiths is an awkward thing. There are kindred that I know of that have the ability to do that kind of thing. There was an elder in the city not too long ago by the name of Rowan, and he knew how to do that kind of thing. There's a young one named Dan who seems to have the ability to just speak with him. She's I think she was a medium in life, and it's just carried over past death. I mean, I'm called gifted, but that's more of a mechanical thing than anything else. Talking to the Death Lords, though. I can tell you where the Citadel is, but actually getting up there and speaking with them, I can't help it. Citadels like Elysiums for Wraiths.
Okay.
And he's gonna look up over his shoulder towards the mountain and point at the mansion.
Castle.
At the mansion. That's the Citadel. And from what I understand, Henry Pittick is the Death Lord of Portland, Oregon.
The creepy old mansion on top of the hill is the... Okay.
The amount of emotion that went into the creation of that thing, yes, that's the Citadel. And the guy who made it is the Death Lord. Wraiths don't last that long. The fact that he's still up there is terrifying. I'm not really sure if he's connected to the Stygian government or not, but he is in charge of everything here.
Huh.
You guys are digging into some very strange territory.
There's this whole thing about whether or not this Death Lord would even care that a kindred's being haunted.
Yeah, that's actually a big issue.
By another kindred Wraith.
The only thing that you could really get him to wonder is if you found out whether or not the kindred or the haunting party was using an illegal Arcanoi or not. There were
Some of them are
their
not
disciplines.
illegal.
Arcanoi are the way that we do things. You know, that's how they survive. They need it. They need it for travel sometimes. They need it to survive. They need it to make things. But there are certain things, the ones that typically interfere with our world majorly, that can cause problems. Breaking the Wraith's masquerade, to put it that way. Basically anything that breaks their masquerade and makes the living aware of the dead is an illegal Arcanoi, or a dark Arcanoi. A lot of the times I found it's more like combinations of Arcanoi that they're not supposed to practice. Possession over human beings, things like that.
Okay, so it's basically anything that doesn't directly affect the land's living.
Pretty much, yeah.
Those are what they're okay with, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah. Anything that affects the world itself on their side is fine.
But the moment it starts going across to the planes of the living,
Yeah.
that's where they get into trouble.
Yeah, like when that, like when the shroud dropped months ago.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it was terrifying. There was no difference between the land of the living and the land of the dead. There's a lot of trauma in this city. Paint it up, make it look as nice as you want to. It's still a pretty dirty town. Especially in this part. The original town.
Oh, yeah.
I'm starting to think maybe I should just move.
I mean, Wraith isn't bound to this place, it's bound to you if you actually... He starts digging through a bag. And looking through a notebook. Sorry, I've got a lot of things that I tend to do. And I just realized that I can probably answer this question for you, like, right now. Alright, wits plus oblivion. I can actually do this. This is not that big of a deal. Sorry, I do a lot of stuff, and there's so many things that I haven't... There's a lot of things that I've done that I haven't done in a while. Oh yeah, no, he fucking won. All anybody smells in this place are the flowers and the water. Like, it's not... Like, there's the dirtiness of the city, but for the most part, all you're picking up is the flowers and everything. And Pete's just like, do you guys smell weed?
Like weed or pot?
It is you. I'm pretty sure... Were you like his drug dealer or something? Well, I'm pretty sure that the smell that I'm getting is marking you as a fetter.
Lovely.
You are specifically the thing that he is drawn to and connected to, and if for some reason he took any kind of damage, he would most likely retreat into you.
That's uniquely horrifying.
The thing is, he probably doesn't know anything other than the fact that you feel like home. If he can't actually see you, which, as young as he would be, I think he might actually still be considered an ephant over there. He might just be going to something familiar and not even realizing that you're the person he kidnapped. I really don't understand why that would be such a... Unless he saw you as the last hope to find something else. But, like, you would imagine that that thing he was looking for would actually have been the fetter, not you. So, I don't know. That's just odd. But if you are his fetter, and you definitely do seem to be a fetter, then you are directly connected to him.
So if he gets inside me, am I going to be possessed by him?
No, it's actually more of like a... Consider it like a wraith torpor. Now, he could have an easier time possessing you if you were like... It's a word I heard tossed around. I'm not 100% sure exactly what the difference between a fetter and a conduit is. But if you were like a conduit to this side, then yeah, he could absolutely possess you. Like I said, I'm not really sure what the difference between a fetter and a conduit is.
Okay.
I'll look into it, but it's not really something we talk about much. But I've heard something about something called a risen. A wraith that's able to, like, retake physical form. Where, you know how we have that little voice in the back of our head telling us to, like, when we need to feed and beating us down, that beast inside of us? Wraiths have something very similar called a shadow. And from what I understand, the shadow resides within the conduit all the time. But if the wraith is inside of the conduit, then the shadow is free. And it's dangerous. And it has nothing but the desire of self-destruction of the actual wraith itself. But again, I don't know the difference really between the two things. I don't see why one fetter would be more important than another. Look, this is something that people, we go to school for years for this kind of thing, you know, like we take lessons from Elder Hekata and stuff. This is just new.
Is there a textbook?
Not really.
Yeah, I figured.
We don't typically...
It would probably give me a headache.
We don't typically teach outsiders of the clan either. I mean, there's one lady at the thing, but like that's it. Like,
So if he gets hurt, we'll go into Torgor and me and nega him.
yeah, and
Could
actually,
it be, if he was a total bastard, would the negative version of him be like actually nice?
oh, see, assholes have shadows too. Assholes have shadows too. You have to understand, like,
There's no winning.
The shadow wants everything that is important to the wraith and the wraith itself to be destroyed. So where he might see you as like a level of comfort and home, even if it's creeping you out, the shadow itself would be vendetta against you, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's creeping me out. You're telling me I'm an apartment for this guy.
I don't, like, I mean, that's really a good way of putting it. I'm probably going to repeat that at some point. But, yeah. Like, I really wish I had a better way of saying this. I mean, we could definitely host it. Like, put it into somebody else. Like, we could put it into a kindred, and I'm not really sure what we would do with
He's
that.
getting it.
It kind of has to be... as funny as that is. It's more like... it has to be a mutual agreement.
So I gotta find a volunteer.
Unless...
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Unless the urn could be found.
The
Earn?
Yeah, like I was saying with the whole Constancia issue, we were literally able to rip her out of the Shadowlands and put her in a body without any kind of permission, without her being there. It was actually in, from what I understand, this happened like seriously like a month or two before I was embraced. But apparently there was this like ancient Hekata by the name of like Mora or Mona, or I think it was Mora, and she got a hold of this almost like a canoptic jar. It's called the Venetian urn. It was found in some like bigwig Giovanni's haven after he died, and yeah, there was a group of kindred, from what I understand, who like got a hold of this thing at some auction and then brought it back, and then they performed the ritual, and they literally reached into Shadowland through the abyss and pulled her out and stuffed her in a body. But yeah, I mean, in that case, from what I understand, they ended up killing her. Like, she was not suited whatever the hell was going on.
So that didn't happen.
No, but they got her.
Do you know what the stairway's about?
The stairway?
Yeah, there's a stairway down there.
He's gonna start
It's
describing a wall,
dark but red veins.
the obsidian wall. He starts describing this shiny black surface that has pulsating red veins in it. Are you talking about?
It's a spiral stairway made of that.
You saw the labyrinth.
It goes everywhere.
He took you deep. Actually, that would make a lot of sense in Portland with all the weird stuff. There's a thin layer in between our world and the next world. Like we call it the veil.
And you
And
called it the shroud a minute ago.
yes, it's the same thing. There's the shroud, the veil, whatever. The thing is, like, there's another one on the inside that goes deeper, and there's another one after that that goes deeper, and there's another one after that that goes deeper. It's just
veils all the way down.
it's just layers of how the spiritual universe works. And I've heard legends that, like, it just gets deeper and deeper and more wild and wild as you go. Like, things start becoming alien after a bit. But, like, the wall or the stairs or the labyrinth is supposed to be a way into the realm of Malpheus itself, which is demon territory. I've heard stories of members of the Giovanni and other clans actually too, who kind of found ways to communicate with things on the other side of that labyrinth. It's not supposed to be a good idea, but you're talking Faustian bargain kind of shit.
You think he made a deal with a demon?
No, it sounds like somebody shadow stepped and got a little bit too close to that wall. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
I'm just saying that going there is never smart. He shadow stepped. He took you with him. Is this a La Sombra? Was it that La Sombra? Oh my god. Okay. I experienced my first torpor because of him.
That's what I was saying. That's why I was so very hopeful that if there was an anti...
No, the shadow would be worse.
How?
It wouldn't have any inhibitions.
It seems really hard, but...
It wouldn't have any inhibitions, and the whole goal would be to just make him suffer first and then kill him. That guy destroyed my hospital with people in it.
Didn't he kill that whole bar also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
And then he kidnapped me and dragged me along with him in a frickin' Jeep, and then when I was taking up too much room, he threw me out of it.
Yeah.
While going like 90. I'm really lucky they found me. Look, I'll help however I can, but if that guy's your wraith, you don't want to meet his shadow.
So we have to keep him healthy.
That doesn't mean he can't be bound. If you can find another fetter, because seriously, sometimes they'll have multiple. We might be able to bind him to a different fetter. And then imprison him. Either that, or get that jar and we'll kill him and hope he doesn't come back as a wraith next time. Because it's not
it doesn't come back again.
It's not a guaranteed thing that someone will come back as a wraith, especially kindred.
I'm wondering where the rest of this coterie went. Who was there at the fight? I've got to ask some people what happened after I got knocked out.
He's gonna check his phone. It is getting late. I got some more work to do. If you guys figure something out about this, I'm happy to help. Like, seriously, I don't want that wraith being loose.
Or terrorizing around town in a brand new J suit.
Possession is really difficult. I severely doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. So, this
It's not
puts,
like I'm going to die of old age before he figures it out.
this puts us on a time limit, but it's not something that should happen anytime soon. Just let me know if you guys think of anything when it comes to fetters. I do know that the name of the guy, and the only reason I know this is because I've heard Mother Anya bitch about him so many times. There's a gangrel by the name of... the only reason I know about this guy is because Mother Anya used to bitch about him all the time. His name's Matthew Castle. Like Cassell. And he's a gangrel. And he runs some kind of like kindred auctions. Matthew Castle was the last person I know who had any information on the jar. I don't know where to find him, but I know he does kindred auctions. And he did one here a few years ago, which is how the jar came into our possession originally anyway. I also know that the Cult of Mithras was trying to get their hands on it. So, I'm not really sure where it ended up after Mora disappeared. Other than that, like I said, call me if you guys have any ideas about fetters, because if you know this guy, then it might be a little bit easier for you. It's really weird for his fetter to be a kindred, though. Anyway, just let me know if you guys think of anything. He's gonna take off, leaving you guys in the park with Nick. So you're haunted.
Apparently I'm haunted.
That's a bitch.
Well, I thought I was haunted. Now I'm sure I'm haunted. By a bitch.
Huh.
Was Nick there?
I mean, yeah, he was with us.
I don't think Nick ever fought Noah.
Oh, no. I don't think he was there. He was torpor when that happened.
What was it? Shit, what? Nick,
Because that happened after the first name was the raiding at my place.
Oh, that's right. That
The werewolf.
No, he wasn't there. Because
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
happened
the very first thing that happened was the raid at my place.
Yeah, that happened first.
Yeah.
So Nick didn't get a shot at that.
I think Nick saw Noah once, but he never knew his name or knew who he was. Because, like, he was helping out with the whole McCarthy issue. He saw Noah when he was hanging out with the Hikata group, with the Black Sheep group. So, you're haunted by the ghost of Alessandra. That's fucked.
Yes.
In different kinds of way.
I don't do ghosts. I mean, can they hurt us? Like when they're not being directed by, point off towards them by the Hikata? Because I've seen them do some crazy shit.
Well, I mean, we were kind of talking about it. It sounds like eventually they could.
I hate myself for what I'm about to say, but I kind of wish that hole was still open.
Which one? Which hole?
The one to...
Whoa, the hole in the thing?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Something came out of there.
Yeah. Well, what if if it was open, we could maybe pull his ass out and maybe dissolve or some shit.
Physically pull a ghost out of the Wraith world?
I'm not sure if that would be a good idea.
I mean, would they have access to whatever Arkanoi or whatever the fuck he said?
I don't know, but if it burns up at daylight, that seems like a good thing.
You think they have issues with the sun like we do?
I don't know. It's a vampire wraith.
It sounded like the only
I don't
game
think it's
those
a longer a
weaknesses
vampire.
if they're possessing
Yeah,
a
do you
vampire.
stack?
I don't
Can
know.
you embrace a werewolf and turn it into a vampire and then kill it and have it be a
vampire
werewolf
Would you
vampire
like to
ghost?
experiment to find out?
Not at all.
Okay, then.
I'm just saying, if you embrace a
That's
werewolf,
also a wizard.
if
For some reason. What?
If you teach a werewolf magic and then embrace it and then kill it, is it a werewolf, wizard, vampire, wraith?
Is this Skyrim?
This
over
is
again?
stacking up, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and say you have a ghost that previously identified as a kindred.
Sunlight kills ghosts too, though, doesn't it?
Does it?
I thought so.
Dude,
You ever hear? Have you ever heard?
cold iron and salt. That's all I know.
Have you ever heard of anybody being haunted in the middle of town square at noon? It doesn't happen. It's
cold
always at
iron.
night.
Yeah,
always
no,
like-
actually I have. I've heard lots of stories of ghosts during the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, piss.
Night is more common for people to talk about it because it's creepier, but I've heard plenty of stories, especially in freaking Iran. There's ghosts over there too.
I thought that couldn't. I mean, it wouldn't have helped me anyway.
It's an odd issue. I owe you, so I'll help you however I can. But I'm not really sure what I can do for this. What about you guys? You guys got any specialties? Anybody can take down wraith, vampire, werewolves, or anything?
Not my cup of tea.
Because you were talking about binding, or you were talking about warding.
He's a wizard. I just make people do shit.
Yeah, but if he touches the ward and takes enough damage, apparently we're extra fucked.
You're extra fucked if he takes down the warding?
You know, if the ward...
Sorry, I just completely fucking went
Okay.
off.
If we ward everything in sight,
Uh-huh.
then he touches the wards, he'll get damaged, then he'll go into torpor.
Oh,
And
yeah. No, that
somehow
actually makes
even
a lot of
worse,
sense.
even though that seems impossible.
Do
version
the wards hurt them, or does it just keep them away?
That's what wards do, is they
always
hurt
thought
anybody.
they just keep them away, but I mean,
Yeah, but if you keep trying to touch a ward, you burn yourself.
okay. I generally try.
Sombra. The Sombra are scary alive.
Apparently one day it's even worse.
Never met one.
I met a Lasombra Sultan a few years ago. He was nice but scary. Like, don't break his rules, but like he treated everyone kindly. But if anybody broke the rules, the things he could do were just terrifying.
So, in other words, people didn't actively fuck up.
You know what? I'm not gonna say it doesn't exist because obviously it does, but like the Ashira, they tend to just follow the rules out of common sense and like communal preservation. It's kind of like what the cam says they do here.
I was just thinking, I wish that would work over here.
There's a lot more faith on that side of the world.
That's
There's
true.
whole cities you just can't walk into without getting hurt. Just from the sheer feeling of the faith.
I imagine Jerusalem would probably be one of those cities.
Oh, that is totally off limits, man. You don't go into Jerusalem, because if you do, you don't walk out. I've heard stories of kindred ashing on the spot as soon as they walk into that
From what I
place.
understand, it's a holy city for Jews, Muslims, Christians.
Temple of Solomon, man. You
Yeah.
don't go there. There's a couple. There's a guy, actually, who came in. God, what was his name? Their name. It was a they. What's that? It's a Nosferatu that came in with a group of kindred working with the cam.
I think you've just inspired the worst possible idea.
What the hell was that
I
guy's
don't
name?
think I will do that.
Omnis. There's a dude named Omnis who actually came in, studied what they were doing in the holy cities, and like developed some kind of like, know, self-use grenade. Like, you break it on yourself, and it, like, stops the faith from hurting you for a time.
How does that work?
I don't know.
That would have been good to have during the gassing.
No guarantee that would have worked, though.
No, but there's no guarantee it wouldn't.
True.
Something to try.
You want to volunteer?
I heal really well.
Okay, fair enough.
I know that's really weird to say for somebody who's got 2 freaking bouts in torpor under his belt. And being as young as I am, but seriously, like, yeah. No, like, I'd give it a shot. If it could prove that it could help others, yeah, no, I'm in.
Well, we have a volunteer.
Anyway, what's your bad idea? There are no bad ideas. There's just good ideas and really fucking stupid ones. So let's hear it.
Oh, this is a really fucking stupid idea. Finding a priest to exorcise it.
You're nuts.
That's what I said.
I mean, if you find a priest who legit believes that you are haunted, he's gonna have to.
He's gonna have a problem with the
believe that you're a
vampire
vampire.
part.
Yeah.
And if he's any good at this sort of thing, he's going to wire back to SI headquarters, and we're going to be gassed all over again.
Aren't they all Catholic?
Have fun with the
Can we find
Society
a
of
Protestant
April.
priest?
Huh.
Let me look online.
Better not.
No wonder.
Well, I mean, there's the Church of Cain that's hanging out.
Who? The Church of Cain's here?
Yeah.
We have a church.
Apparently. We got a bunch of churches.
Yeah.
Do they do exorcisms?
I have no idea. I heard about
I don't
it.
believe
It
in religion, I'm
sounded,
sorry.
it sounded kind of Sabbat-ish to me. So,
I mean, that sounds like I should actually ask.
I'm just curious.
To me,
I'm
religion
serious.
is.
Do we know how to get a hold of them? Where are they?
To me, religion is a cult that makes you put religion above yourself. I like to put myself above everything. So,
Okay, that's nice and all, but unless you can throw some
No,
holy
How old is
Very
that?
been true.
Okay, that's from 2019.
Thank
We
you.
missed that. Meanwhile, it's Exorcism Fest at the Vatican. Vatican exorcist reveals his most haunting experiences. The Catholic Church, Catholic. Watch a pastor. Pastors aren't Catholic, are they?
no.
pastor.
Pastors are typically
No, that's-
Methodists or.
Lutheran.
Evangelists.
Watch a pastor perform an exorcism.
They're like either
That's Catholic.
Methodists or evangelists.
Late Night with
Yeah.
the Devil.
The satanic.
I'm
church
just
guy.
saying, there's so much stuff online nowadays. Like, the internet was just gaining ground when I went down.
I don't know. You could try maybe talking to somebody over there.
Can I
don't
just
know.
put non-Catholic exorcisms? I put late night exorcisms. I'm wondering if they
I-
have just non-Catholic exorcisms.
I mean, finding a vampire priest, that's...
I mean, you could always try the voodoo priest.
He's torpid.
There's only one.
That's the one I know about.
There's a whole shop dedicated for that.
I typed in
There's a-
non-Catholic exorcism, and I got like 50
The
results for
ministry acts
Roman
like they're a
Catholic
religion.
exorcism.
I was
Something.
actually about to talk. I was about to actually say something about them. You are anarch, and aren't they supposed to be your spiritual leaders?
I guess
They might
don't,
be among
I've
the
never
Who?
talked to them.
The ministry.
The Anarchs have a ministry?
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Interesting.
I think they used to be called Setites.
The followers of Set are your ministry?
That's what they say?
Well, that's just flippin' terrifying. Don't they, like, rip your heart out and put it in a jar?
Really?
Yeah, like, and
Does
you...
that get... Can they rip
I'm
a
sorry, you
ghost
say
out and
rip
put
your
it in a
heart.
jar?
All I'm seeing is that
Indiana Jones scene,
Kali
Kali
Ma.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's terrifying.
Fucking Salubri and the Tremere biting over fucking Indiana Jones references.
That's how it works, man. George
I'm
Lucas.
see. I'm more the Raiders of the Lost Ark experience, where he just ties me to a stake and then the ghosts come flying out.
Everything gets just brought back to Indiana Jones.
I'm telling you, the creator of the fucking vampire.
George Lucas.
I should go to the Aspen Pearl. I know
See
where
that
that
guy?
Something
is.
else.
You seen that guy? He looks like a werewolf. He's of course, he looks like a werewolf from like
that's-
Evil.
That's
fucking
easy.
Keanu Reeves. That's your vampire in Hollywood. Have you seen him?
I seen the episode about him being a vampire.
I need a taxi.
Inside Job.
That's the Pearl. No, that's the Pearl District,
Awesome
right?
series.
What's up?
The Aspen, the Pearl.
The Asp
Yes.
and the Pearl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pearl District. That would be really appropriate. I don't know where things are.
No, they're in the New Orleans district.
New Orleans District.
They're in the
Yeah, that's-
Hecata area?
Yeah.
They took over the.
The Setites are in the Hecata area?
That's far enough. I need a cab.
They need to. They apparently took over the.
Are you calling them?
I'm calling a cab.
Okay, calling a cab?
Yeah.
I can drive you, you know.
Yeah, but you never volunteer for things.
You never ask. It's a such a
'cause
thing
you're
if somebody asks.
Because you're not really in our club.
Why would I ask you something for something when I just need to drive you? It's not like I'm doing you a big ass favor.
You're not really in our club?
Yeah, he's a cam.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm so confused. So we have a Camarilla.
They're both cam.
We have two Camarilla being led around by an Anarch.
So you get a cam and a cam
I
that's
would
in between the
barely
edges.
call my sire Camarilla.
Okay, call him Cam Curious. I still don't. I don't see you at the last drop.
I've never been in there.
See?
I just like the difference between the lines and see if I can decide on the side.
Look, I don't
So
know
far,
exactly.
Anarchs are the
I don't know
side
exactly
right
how you join, but I haven't seen Tinia hit you with a fish or whatever the ritual is. So,
I don't know.
Why would I piss off a freaking
Sometimes
Bruja?
people say things and I just think, I wish I was just a little bit more naive.
Why would I piss off a Bruja?
I honestly
That's just
think my
crazy.
sire's just trying to wait to see which way the pendulum's going to swing with the decision on who's going to be the primogen and whether or not it's going to be that asshole that
I don't like that fucking prick.
what was it, Gore, whatever the fuck.
is
his
that with
name
an
is.
E or not?
I'm not sure.
No, it's just Gore.
I wouldn't want to talk to him.
Either way, that
anyways.
sucks.
Gore's the guy who hit. Sorry. Yeah, no, you guys weren't there for that. There's a Thin Blood that I was hanging out with for a little bit. It took me a while to realize what happened to him.
Yeah, that's the one that got a hold of that thin blood.
That guy's supposed to be really sadistic.
Yeah, my sire doesn't want anything to do with him. And she's pretty close to jumping ship.
Huh? Well, not just moving cities, like just
She,
Primogen or bust.
yeah, pretty much.
are we walking to his car as we're having
I
this?
assume so.
Okay. Alright.
Because it's a block back.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a drive to get to the New Orleans district, but at least it's open tonight, so you guys can drive all the way to where you're going and not be stopped by like the gates and stuff like that. Okay, so you have issues out of character, real quick. Jay has issues.
Jay has all kinds of issues.
Jay has issues in Frankie's place.
Yeah.
You're driving into the New Orleans district,
Oh yeah, this will be fun.
so
As soon as
it's not as bad as it was when Black Sheep was going on, and they had like the army of wraiths that ripped Sunny Red completely apart,
And the army of zombies and the sewers.
and the army of zombies in the sewers.
Which reminds
Did we
me-
get all of them?
what happened to them?
Well, there's some
the
rolls
zombies
on the
that
turn.
fucking
If you
Now-
have to ask,
They're still in
no.
the fucking crypt. They're still there.
New character. When you deploy a zombie horde, you really, really, really should number them as they go out the
Bro,
door.
General
Just so
number
you
one,
can
number two,
check
number
them
three.
off.
So we're gonna go ahead and do this one last scene because it's after midnight at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm still fucking exhausted from the trip.
Fair.
So you guys arrive at the area, and this has got to be really weird for you, because this is, like, not psychically, just visually, this has got to be strange. Because you are literally walking up to the top hat, where the glass had been ripped out, and this is where you had your last stand.
God.
You can see, like, the area where you fought Vinny. You can see the area where Noah attacked. This is the same building.
It was ripped through.
Except for the fact that it's no longer, like, red brick and masonry. It looks like sandstone. A sandstone facade. Also, the ground has been opened up, so you kind of have to walk down a little bit to get to the door. Like, there's stairs that lead down. There's no windows up front. There's just all of these Egyptian-style decor. And it says in obnoxious neon lights...
They use
the
a lot of
asp.
papyrus font here, don't
The
they?
asp. No, it's actually a font. Like, the neon lights are in a font that is supposed to look like Arabic or Egyptian, but, like, you can read it in English kind of thing. It's just... It's like when people try to use runes, but they write in English in the runes.
Or when people write Japanese restaurant in that ridiculous backstroke.
Yeah. And it says the asp and the pearl.
Ninja font.
And there's this wall art of snakes and what looks to be like a woman holding... Like, there's some scenery, basically, that goes from... It goes to, like, a woman... and a man in front of a party, but, like, the man's wearing classical Roman, and the woman is, like, all Egyptianed up, and she in the various panels
I have here, this is lost on me.
the various panels of it eventually have her taking a pearl, putting it in a glass of something, and then eventually drinking it. That's the story that's being told on here. Does anybody have academics on their sheet?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
And I have a cult too, if that applies
I have
to
business.
This is academics, and this is academics, not a cult.
Business?
Knowledge intelligence plus academics. Business. What is that?
My specialty in
You
academics.
don't know. This is not a business thing. It's going to be like a difficulty of 4.
You say intelligence plus
only
academics.
2 successes.
It's literally just background lore for me
History.
to make myself happy. So
3 successes.
yeah, nobody's going to understand what the hell this is. If you understood what it was out of character, I'd say sure. But like,
Well, yeah, out of character, but I have nothing to back that up here. So
Oh, okay.
Moving right along.
I don't know, maybe you saw a late night National Geographic's episode or something.
Seriously doubt it.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah,
History Channel.
you have to walk.
Aliens killed Mark Antony and Cleopatra.
You, God damn it, aliens. Sombra. Anyway, so yeah, there's like you go down this little steps, and it's like you can like look up out onto the street from how deep it is. It like goes up to about eye height, and then there's the door, which is it looks heavy, but like when you go to open it, it just opens. It looks heavy. It's like styrofoam. It's nothing
Paint on
but like
styrofoam.
it's
Great stuff foam.
It's formed great stuff foam to make it look like some ancient Egyptian tomb.
My stepdad actually makes that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you walk in, there is a Egyptian-looking fellow who has kind of curly hair that's kind of going all over the place.
Drywall.
He is wearing a white linen shirt and blue jeans and sandals.
Is this the guy that's been into my shop?
It's the same guy who came into your shop.
Okay.
And he's got a big old onk on a leather strap around his neck.
He's got his dinner plate.
He's got some visible tattoos up and down his arms. He's got some rings. He's got some bracelets. This guy is rocking the modern pagan.
Nice.
And when you walk in, it's like heavily incensed. Books everywhere, junk everywhere, more Egyptian stuff than anything else. This is obviously a Coptic occult shop.
Yeah.
So
Mine is kind of more of a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of everything.
I figure your
More
place is like
specialized.
Mana.
Yeah.
How many people are in here besides us? Proprietor.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that there's him and one other person who's sitting in a chair off to the side, and it's Brittany.
Okay.
She's just sitting in a chair reading a book. So, obnoxious little bell rings. It's so much better than the god-awful, like, billowing thing.
Dragon roar?
It's so much better than the
Every single time that thing went off, it felt like the evil spirits were going to get scared out of my body.
and they will.
Yes.
Fuck, bring it back.
Yeah, there's like a tiny little brass bell that rings. You walk in and there's like a sitar playing in the background. It's most likely a CD.
Yeah.
But he's just turns around in this like overwhelmingly British accent. He's like, "Welcome to the Asp and the Pearl." Oh,
Hey, how are you?
hi! I didn't actually expect you to actually come in. She's gonna look up, get this look of disdain on her face, give you a nod, and then close the book and head behind the beaded curtain. So, how can I help you, gentlemen?
Well, we're mainly here for our friend here, and do you have a private room where we can talk? Or is this...
He's gonna walk over to the front door and lock it, and hit a little switch on the wall. Closed. How can I help you?
We were talking, and eventually it dawned on us that as far as finding a priest, this might be the safe place to ask. And we were talking about that because we had just been talking to a Hekata who was letting me know that I am haunted.
You're haunted.
By
La
La Sombra.
Yeah, a lot of it happened here too.
He's gonna go back over to the beaded curtain and just kind of like look back there. Let's keep our voices down. She doesn't care for the L word. You're haunted by
They knew each other.
the same La Sombra. You're haunted by Noah Masters.
That one.
That is terrifying.
Thanks. That's very encouraging.
Unfortunately,
If it's
we were trying to discuss means of getting rid of them. I don't know enough to exercise something like that. I don't know if anyone on your side that knows anything.
I mean, we actually have friends in the Hekata that might be able to help with this. They're not... We have friends who are Hekata, who are not part of the greater Hekata, that might be able to help with this. And what exactly did you think? What did you want to do?
When we were talking to the Hekata, we didn't get a lot of good options. He said we could get a volunteer vampire to accept it into its body and throw it in the ocean, maybe. That
A
doesn't
volunteer
seem-
vampire to accept being...
He didn't have a lot of good ideas, and we got talking about Catholic exorcisms, which was a
couple of the candles
which is-
that are on the altar are going to blow out when you say that.
which is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea, especially what's happened recently. But that brought up priests in general and the ministry and the Church of Cain.
Well, I didn't mention...
Church of Cain.
We were discussing the very spiritual options he has as a kindred, and I thought about the Church of Cain, and then I mentioned that the ministry is supposed to be the spiritual leaders for the anarchs.
That is true. That is
It
true.
is an anarch.
The Church of Cain, though, I'd be very careful. I do hear that they are, if not made up of completely, they harbor ex-members of the Sword of Cain.
That wouldn't surprise me one bit.
They seem to be more of like a friendly version of the Sabbat. So
Sabbat light.
Sabbat light, yes. But the rumors that I've heard, they're abusive to their members. And, I mean, again, they're just rumors, but I wouldn't trust them. Anyone who pushes that type of dogma.
Either way, I thought that coming here for him would be the better suggestion out of the
Seemed
two
like
options.
the least deadly.
I am very happy that you decided to come to us. That's why we are here for, to help our fellow anarchs in realms of spiritual needs. But this is legitimately a spiritual need. A lot different than just helping guide you on a path to better choices. Ghosts. That is something. That is something that I would definitely have to say that possibly speaking to one of my friends who belong to the Zemedi may be able to help with.
They made the Hakata member we were speaking to earlier. He had suggested maybe trying to locate other fetters.
I've heard that wraiths have some bondage to things on the
They
side.
think that he is acting as a fetter for this particular
Well,
wraith.
that is unfortunate. I wonder if there is a way to unfetter something. That is quite a scenario. Did he give any suggestions on that? Is something the more I can give to my friends, the better. Truthfully,
I don't know, somebody that can dispel it or eat it or whatever.
eat it.
I don't know. Just throwing suggestions.
I've heard of something like that. That certain
But
kindred who have the
did-
ability to consume wraiths.
Maybe, but he did also say that if the wraith gets hurt enough, it might come sleep inside me
Oh.
and let its worst version roam the world.
Its worst version? I
Like-
don't know much about wraiths.
Spectre.
Apparently,
is
your
that-
wraith
worst
has like its own beast,
That's just wonderful.
and
That actually does back up a friend of mine's theory that kindred are nothing but wraiths trapped in their bodies.
He said the Hekata could also trap a wraith in a body, but that seems like it's counterproductive considering how much effort went into killing him the first time.
True, but if you were to trap him inside of a body, then he wouldn't be able to retreat into you. And
That's a plus.
given the fact that he is a...
So at most, then we could trap the worst one in a body.
Did he mention
maybe
human
we could
body?
find, like a comatose patient, trap it into a human body.
I've seen
preferably.
Dogma too. Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but I'm interested.
Just a suggestion.
Not turning you down. I think it's a brilliant idea. I've just never heard of it done. But I also don't do wraiths much of the time. Ghosts are not really my forte.
As I said, coming here was kind of a shot in the dark.
Always is.
Why don't you ask him about the thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like things. What thing?
Well, do you know anything about this?
Ah, you have Cobalt Cherry Moon.
It's found in the Penny Diners Club. The
Really?
proprietor's curious about it. Mainly about
An alarm.
the origins.
I hear it's quite good. I mean,
It is.
From, the longest timeline, we're going to have to find some type of drug eventually to push to Kindred, right? Not surprised that the Thin Bloods found it first.
So it is the Thin Bloods that are pushing.
That's
this.
what I hear.
It wouldn't surprise me. I've heard they've done remarkable things with their alchemy.
I hear it widens the senses and makes resonance last a lot longer and helps you to find your potential.
But how addictive is it?
It's a good question.
Judging by the little bit that I tried just to figure out about it, very.
Do you need a guinea pig?
You want to try some?
I'd be intrigued to.
Hand you the vial.
Okay. He's going to open it without even a thought. He's just going to drink it. All of it.
Somebody gonna be tripping.
His eyes dilate and turn gold.
How big is the trip?
Actually, if you're staring at him, it's hard not to just stare at him and lose your ability to talk. Like, you look at him and he instantly hypnotizes you because his eyes are gold and huge. That is something.
Yes,
That
it
is.
is. Remarkable.
As soon as he breaks eye contact, it goes away, and his eyes are still massively dilated, but they're no longer gold. Yes, that is a fine product.
Better
Yeah.
with some strong shit. Some good shit.
I'm just wondering what the negative effects of something like that would
His
be.
fangs pop out a little bit. They're long and slender. They actually come down to about here, and they go back up.
You okay there?
It's almost a little difficult to maintain, and his tongue forks for a second. It's something that is definitely
That's
something
new.
to maintain yourself and be in a nice private environment if you're going to try something like that. But it's definitely surging. I don't feel like I've fed this much in so long. I was actually considering going hunting, but now I think it might just be overeating. That is a wonderful product. Where did you say you found that? What bathroom?
The girls' bathroom of the Penny Diners Club.
I see.
Found it on the floor.
That is if that's blue cobalt, I wonder how the other one is.
The other one?
Yes, the cobalt. From what I understand, it went out of fashion about 2 weeks ago. And they have an upgrade.
What's it, like pinkish or red?
What is that taste?
It's like a cherry.
It is, but it's familiar.
You know, it reminds me... the stuff that they put in, like, sodas to give things a cherry flavor.
Like
Syrup?
grenadine.
Yes, exactly.
A little bit, but thicker. And a little off.
Yeah.
But I see where you get the idea of the grenadine. Maraschino.
Yes.
Maybe. I almost want to say like vodka cherries, but not quite. It's there's something in it, something thicker. If you find any more, I will be happy to analyze.
Definitely, I'll keep an eye out.
He actually just holds the vial up and like his forked tongue gets everything out of it.
That's something you don't see every day.
What?
Sorry, first ministry member I've met.
Oh, the tongue. That is our chosen protein. Like the gangrels and the cat claws and things like that. Ministry tend to tongue, eyes kill pretty and distracting things.
I saw.
I'm sorry. That is exquisite. I will be happy to help in any way I can with your investigations.
I think Might have to pay a visit to some of the Thin Bloods.
The Thin Bloods, you say?
Yeah.
Good. Good to know. We have a name. Teeny?
Probably.
Good.
I can talk to her. I'm on good terms. I like her. She's pretty good.
What about Tupper?
Fuck him.
All right. I mean, I didn't consider, but all right.
Topper, it's
That's what I
a
have to
problem
do.
we're dealing with.
Yes, I heard the Camarilla were having issues with the pink meth. Blood-tainted meth. It's not a good idea.
No.
Meth is not a pretty picture on Kindred. However, that was amazing. He just holds up. He just holds up the file again.
Meth is bad enough on humans.
Could you imagine if your fangs fell out? You will lose your fangs and your haven.
Be living in a trailer park in no time.
I could not imagine living in a trailer as a Kindred.
Ugh.
Living in a van down by the
A
blue.
trailer,
You see-
like a standard double-wide trailer, will burn down in 7 minutes. Could you imagine that happening during the day?
If you see that fucking place when we raided it, try to raid it actually.
You did that!
Not him, he wasn't there.
The house on Oak and Vine.
Yeah.
What did you do?
We found a meth lab.
Did
We
you?
investigated it.
Did you? Were you involved in the 4 deaths?
4 deaths.
Out of character? Yes, you were.
I didn't kill nobody. I rescued people.
You were involved, though.
There were 4 deaths
I rescued a few.
at a mouth house. On a mouth house. I'm having a bit of an issue keeping my tongue in its proper form. There was 4 deaths. There were 4 deaths. Was 4 death. Past tense. Were. There were 4 deaths associated with a raid on a methamphetamine production plant that Tupper was involved in. I don't care, personally.
I mean, I can tell you, I did brought out a few people that were inside, like completely passed out, high, and try to put them in a safe place.
Interesting. Okay.
As for deaths, somebody else might have done that.
Anyway, it's none of my business.
Right. So back to business at hand. You're going to, well, I'm not sure if you're going to remember any more of the conversation because you seem to be.
My memory is excellent.
Yeah, you just seem a little bit alleviated.
He's like swaying back and forth. His eyes are all freaking big. He just seems to be enjoying the shit out of life right now.
He is fucking tripping.
I'm actually quite aware. I can hear everything. Mice in the walls are like elephants. Boom, 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 everywhere.
All right. So essentially, what we
Tremere, you have Auspex, right?
yes.
This must be what it feels like.
I mostly use my Auspex for seeing things that are not normally seen.
Oh, you see through the thing. That.
Yeah.
Yes. That's sad. Sensory overload is just fun. I could. Oh my god. Cherry Moon with Auspex would be devastatingly delightful. Anyway, remember what now?
What did that do to Immortal? That.
What?
What would that do to Immortal?
I mean, I guess it depends on what's in it.
It may be designed to not affect a mortal. I mean,
Or if it is, it will be something extreme that causes death.
It might.
You're dead. We can technically maybe handle it. Then? I don't think so.
Have you had some? You should try it.
If I find somebody selling it, I will.
If you do, let me know. I would love to meet a proprietor.
I think I can find some people selling it. Yeah, with the right incentive.
That's a good idea. Let me know. Do you think they sell in bulk?
I can ask if I find any.
Come in pints.
Does it come in pints?
Gallon and a half of this shit. 5-gallon Culligan balls.
I can see him keeping a fucking big gulp cup behind the counter.
If you drink that, I can just hear him say, "I can hear the cosmos."
All these squares make a circle.
I made coffee with my Red Bull, and now I see colors. Wait, now I hear sounds, or now I see sounds. Yes. So remember what?
Drink the blood of people who had done drugs.
So
I didn't forget. You were just mentioning my memory, and I remembered that you were saying that. So.
are you going to remember talking to your Hakata friends about?
Oh, definitely.
I drank some blue blood, and that blue blood was a drug, and I am a wizard.
That is not going to. Yes, that I will remember. I will remember. He actually gets up and walks over to his counter. He's like, "I will either make a note just to make sure."
Right. Yeah. Also,
And I can call you because I have your phone number.
Yes.
I have your card.
on
Yes.
that note, let us know what the hangover is like.
Oh, definitely.
After
I
you
will
calm
be
down.
definitely keeping track of what I am definitely going through at the moment. Definitely.
So far it's everything. So far it's everything good.
So far, I don't feel anything wrong. This is wonderful.
You're just hyperactive.
I just feel everything's moving so slow. But no, everything seems fine.
Care for a trip to try to find this? Somebody selling this?
I think it's getting too late in the night. To,
Maybe later.
If you do find someone, please let me know. The moment you do,
yes.
I can ask.
He will-
to help me with it.
compulsively hand out cards to everybody. He will give each of you a card, and then when he's done, he will give each of you a card.
Just in case you.
Okay. Put them both in the wallet.
His card actually seems to have like
What's his name?
mother of pearl
Oh, nice.
like in the card, like you can actually see it. Like it looks
Somebody
like.
spent money on. The
Oh,
card
these cards
stock.
are expensive.
Does it say his name in the card?
It does. I don't remember it.
That's okay. I doubt
It's-
the character could.
It's
remember
Wellington. His last name is Wellington, but I cannot remember
First
his
name
first name.
beef.
He's Wellington from Willingham, not Wellington from Wellingham. It gets a little bit confusing.
Nobody get in a fight with this guy. We wouldn't want to start beef with Wellington.
I started beef with Wellington. You really want to mess with this guy
I
and his
mean,
protein?
Apparently, like the best names that go with one.
I have it. It's on a video already.
Okay.
He's already introduced himself.
Okay.
Edward Benjamin.
I think it's in like the first
Sebastian.
cam video. I will do what I can do to help you.
The other thing he mentioned is there may be 1 to 2 other persons
Persons?
or things. Whatever was important to the
Fetters.
Wraith in life.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It took me a while to catch up to that one. When you said persons, I was like, other ghosts? Like, what are you talking about? But, so there's other fetters.
Foci of haunting, yes.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I'll see what I can from my Zamedi friends. And, you go out, look for more blue moon. And we will talk about that. He's not angry or anything like that. Not yet. But I would like to end this scene as you are all walking out of the store. And call post.